Welcome to the Dirt Life Show with your host, George Hamill.
What's up? Welcome to the Dirt Life Show. We are happy to be with you guys on this June 27th. And Mondays are always such a busy day for us, but we're glad that you guys are taking the time out of your schedule to hang out with us. We got invited to come over to none other than Honda Offroad. Today is going to be an awesome show. We're going to talk about all kinds of fun stuff. We're going to talk about champions of the Baja 500 in the UTV class. We're going to talk about other off-road stuff. We're going to talk about safety. We're going to talk about how crazy fast UTVs are today. All kinds of fun stuff with my buddy sitting right to my left, Jeff Proctor. What's up, dude?
What's up, man? Thanks for having us.
Dude, I'm stoked. So Jeff, for anybody that doesn't know, Jeff is a multi-time Baja champion, runs his own racing program, Proctor Racing Group, Honda Offroad, that you guys all see online and at the races. Jeff is a very accomplished off-road driver, so the knowledge that he's going to share tonight is going to be really good for all of you guys. We're going to have some amazing guests on tonight. We're going to have Elias Hanna, one of your drivers. We're going to have Ethan Ebert, one of your youth development drivers. We're going to have Tucker Conroy. I think is one of your buddies going to come on.
Yep.
And, man, you got some sponsors, too. KMC, Brian Gaitis, Ryan Edwards are going to come on. You got a whole bunch of friends.
Yeah, all the decision makers, man.
And, and before I forget, my name is Georgie Hamill, and we have one special guest that is like, she's chomping at the bit to come on the show. You might know her a little bit, huh?
She's claiming she's the producer of the show.
That's cool, because she did help. She did some sound check stuff. So while we do our intro, why don't we welcome Jeff's daughter, Abigail, to the stage. Abigail, you want to come up here and hang out? So Abigail, let's put the mic real close to your mouth. And then say your full name and say hi to everybody. Look at the camera and say hi to everybody.
Hi, I'm Abigail Proctor.
What'd you have for lunch, Abigail?
Mac and cheese.
Dude, this sounds delicious. So you want to be a producer, or you already think you are?
I want to be a producer.
Oh, yeah? Like what kind of producer? Like producing TV shows, like the whole deal?
Yeah.
Or
Just social media.
Oh, you're a big social media girl, or what?
Yeah.
Let's look at the camera over there so that people can see who you're talking to, right? So if anybody has any questions, they're more than welcome to talk with Abigail. Say hi to her.
Hi.
I think we got to get some of this audio working a little bit better here. Let me try to see if I can fix this for you guys. There we go. There, that should be better for the Instagram audio for you guys now. Abigail has been helping the Dirt Life ever since the first time we came to Honda Offroad. Remember when you did the intro to the Honda Offroad shop tour?
Yeah.
Do you remember anything that you said? You said, "Welcome to the Dirt Life Show." You want to try that again?
Sure.
All right, say, "Welcome to episode 134 of the Dirt Life Show, the Honda Offroad shop."
Welcome to the 134th episode of the Dirt Life Show.
Yep, perfect. Where are we at?
Wait, what?
Where are we at? Honda Offroad.
Yeah, Honda Offroad.
Man, you're killing it. Okay, well, I'm stoked that you're able to come out here and do this, Abigail. You're going to be a good producer when you grow up, because how old are you now?
7.
7? And you're already doing this good? Dang, are you helping Dad a lot then?
Yeah.
Man, that's pretty cool, right? Do you have anything that you want to tell your dad or tell any of the people that are watching?
No.
You don't? I would tell them, hey, thank you very much for watching. We appreciate all you guys for hanging out tonight.
Okay. Hey, thank you for watching. Yeah.
We
appreciate your support.
Yeah.
We appreciate your support. So, yeah.
Yeah, thank you very much, Abigail. Give me a high five, man. That was awesome. Do you want to come back on the show, or do you want to stay with your dad for a little bit when we talk about some off-road racing stuff, or you think you're good?
I think I'm good.
Okay, well, you did awesome. That's a nice shirt, too. Give me a high five. We'll see you later.
Okay.
Jeff, so first of all, what do you think about Abigail's? She's just executing, man. She's getting in there. She's doing it. It's pretty awesome to see, right?
Yeah, she's pretty fearless. There's not a whole lot that bothers her, and Yeah, it's cool to have her
we're
around.
already getting Rossi already commented, and you were awesome, Abigail. So everybody loves Abigail, right?
She loves to come out to the race shop any chance she gets. She's on summer break right now, so she's like, "Hey, Dad, I want to come out and do some social media." I was like, "Sure, today's a good day. You can come out with George."
Learn at 7 years old how to do social media.
That's right.
I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, right?
I don't know. I think it might be a bad thing. Social media can be bad.
Yeah, definitely. We're already getting some comments coming in, so thank you guys, M. Dean, for hanging out. You guys can always hit us up. You hang out in the comments. Is there a fan in the background? Yeah, there was. We turned it off right now. It's hot as shit in Southern California. So if you, I think we'd probably be able to turn the fan back on. We've got the noise cancellation microphone, so we'd probably be okay. We'll try it with the fans on, and then if you guys can still hear it, just let us know. But we're going to have an awesome show for you guys tonight. Thank you very much for having us at Honda Offroad, Jeff. It's really cool. You guys have a ton of stuff going on.
Our pleasure, man. It's always great to be on the show and kind of share what we're doing behind the scenes and trying to make this program happen.
Yeah, it's super cool, man, because all the stuff that you have going on, it's not just racing. Like, everybody sees you at the track, but you have tons of other stuff that you're doing, too.
Yeah, we have our aftermarket program for Talon. So we manufacture parts under the J-Sport brand. So you can get long travel kits and all kinds of parts to build a race Talon from us. So we have that going on. In addition to, we build race cars for customers. So we've built a couple cars in the last year, one being behind us that's on its way to Australia right now. So.
Dude, that thing's pretty sick. I don't know which way I got to lean to kind of get out of the shop, but dude, that thing is so rad. So it's got a lot of your race parts on it. Looks like it's got some KMC forged wheels on it. It's got the white kit, I guess you could call it, the white sticker kit.
Yeah. It started with a white plastic kit with our new upgraded livery for this year. And, what's interesting about this car is that it has a long travel kit on it for a 2P car, which is kind of unique. It's, there's only two basically in the world that have long travel kits on these 2P cars. Most of the long travel kits are on the 4P cars. So
how does it handle with the long travel on the two-seaters?
It actually handles great. Obviously, there's more suspension travel. And the customer that's going to be racing the Fink Desert Race in Australia with this car next year. So obviously he just missed it this year, but it's heading out on a boat next week. And
dude, two things that I think of that. First of all, that's cool as shit that he's going to race Fink, like, because we see Toby Price doing all that stuff and like how rad that race in itself is. But that's also got to feel pretty good for you that you're a race team owner and the representative for the Honda Off-Road group here in Southern California, and somebody calls you up and is like, send a car out, build it, and send it out to Australia. You got to be like, damn, yes.
Yeah, the logistics are kind of crazy. The customer actually lives in Tasmania, which is an island off the coast of Australia. So working on all those logistics, but it always works out. So also working with some rally teams down in South America too that want to race the Talon in some rally raids. So working with those guys. So a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes right now, not just the program here in the U.S.
Yeah, it's super cool to see that, though, man. Like, I love when you can see your organization, your company grow. Whether it's just a normal business or a race team, right? Like, people are noticing the cool stuff that you guys are doing. They're seeing your results in the racing that you guys are participating in. Like Zach Seislov just won the Baja 500. Ethan Ebert coming home with a very, very strong position as well. Like, and then to get that call, it's got to make you feel like another win, so to speak.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, getting the notoriety from wins. I mean, I think customers, they want something that's a proven entity. And so when you can win with a race car, people say, hey, that's proven. We want that.
Yeah.
And, race car owners and drivers are discerning and they want the best of the best. And so I think that's why they're calling us. But
yeah.
I'm also humbled. We've gotten 4 race wins in the last 4 races. So the team is really kind of hitting its stride right now.
Yeah, totally. We had a few comments come in. Kelly Boese texts is a Can-Am guy, but if he ever had change, he would consider getting a Honda for sure. And then Justin Brown over here actually asked a pretty good question, and I think you can answer it better than I can, but I'll at least chime in first. Sure. Is Justin Brown on YouTube said, why aren't the Hondas as big in the UTV scene as Polaris and Can-Am? So most of the time, I would say it's because they're so new to the scene compared to Polaris and Can-Am, but they're also in different areas. One's a turbo platform, one's an NA platform, so there's a lot behind it.
Yeah, I think that would be my response as well, George. You're spot on. you look at Can-Am and Polaris, they've had 10-year head start on the UTV scene. Honda, this is our third season with the Honda. So, I think it takes a while for the consumers to realize what's really behind the Honda. And if they can get past the horsepower number, they'll realize that it's an incredible, very capable machine.
Yep.
That is just add oil and some race parts and you're ready to go racing.
Yeah,
and win.
100%. And it also depends on the type of racing that you guys are going to do. So I'll speak from experience. And horsepower is usually the name of the game when you're doing something like short course. Let's just say Crandon, because that just happened over the weekend, or like Lucas Oil, like I used to participate in. But when you're out in the middle of the desert, horsepower is, I don't want to say more equal, but if it's all about rolling speed, right? Like you always have to be rolling and moving forward. There's sometimes on certain courses in the desert, like this past weekend at the Legacy race, where horsepower was king because you could get up to really fast speeds. So the Honda would be at a disadvantage. But a lot of times down in Baja, it's doing just as good with the track conditions and the terrain.
Yeah, a UTV is still a limited race vehicle. It still needs to be driven like a limited vehicle. And it's easy when you get to the higher horsepower numbers to overdrive a car.
Yep.
And, you see that when you overdrive a UTV, you break.
Yeah. And durability, too, man.
And
durability is king.
Exactly. And that's the name of the game for us at Honda, is that it's an incredible, very durable powertrain that just doesn't break.
Dude, I remember motocross. Like, everybody wanted the Honda because it was always solid, right?
Yeah,
Never broke down.
Yeah, the Talon's no different.
Actually, we already have M. Dean commented and said, "Can we buy those graphics?" You knew that question was going to come up, too.
Yeah, give us about 30 days and a graphics kit's coming out.
Yeah, so I would probably put in like maybe a pre-order or something, already start messaging, or put it on your cell phone to remind you in 28 days to hit up Jeff.
That's right.
All right, so we're going to talk about some fun stuff today. We're going to talk about the progression of motorsports and off-road, kind of like with the stuff that Jeff and I were just talking about, how UTVs are so capable these days, the comparisons between the turbos and the NA vehicles. We want to obviously thank everybody for watching. I know a lot of the fan pages, the Honda Facebook fan pages and Instagram stuff, all shared the posts that you guys were doing. You got some hardcore fans, man. It's pretty cool to see that.
Yeah, there's a lot of hardcore Honda enthusiasts out there, a ton of Facebook pages. We want to give a shout out to everybody that's tuned in today. Thank you for your support. Obviously, we love you guys and we love Honda, so I appreciate it.
100%. Ty Spencer, he's already thrown out the hard questions, man. What about the suspension setup and the bad geometry that the Honda has? Well, let me, again, preface what Jeff's going to say. Any UTV, no matter who it is or what it is, all has bad geometry. Even the new Polaris Razor Pro R has bad geometry. They have so much suspension travel that from full droop to full bottom is almost a foot difference in track width. So no matter what it is, there are certain things that work better on certain UTVs compared to others. So you can always try to see if you can limit those things by limiting the throw of the suspension, by changing the characteristics of the camber, caster, and all of those things. So when you say something like bad geometry,
compared to what?
Yeah, compared to what, right? It's the baseline platform, right? So it just is what it is. So everything can be done better on every UTV. So whatever you guys can come up with, I think there's somewhat of solutions for these issues.
Well, and I don't want to make up excuses for anybody, but there's a lot of patents out there too. So a lot of these manufacturers are working around different patents to make their geometry work. I don't think that there's a panacea or a universal solution for this, but I'm biased obviously, but I think these Talons work really, really well.
Yeah,
in the 4-seat configuration and the 2-seat configuration.
Right here on this phone. So it just is what it is, right? And all of those things, actually, it's pretty simple too. Like I saw Justin at Shock Therapy actually did a Pro R demo, and you guys will notice if you see any of those live feeds, because they have a lot of technical information on them. They're actually super cool because when you talk about like bump steer, camber, caster, all that stuff, it's pretty interesting because what happens is that you have, don't know what you want to say it. Let's just say 30 thousandths of a difference at the top portion of the adjustment range. Well, that translates to a wheel adjustment of 3/4 of an inch of actual toe in or toe out or camber or caster, right? So you really have to keep a really, really tight, strict alignment and camber, caster, and all of those different gains, and you can make the UTV handle completely different.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, in all forms of racing, those little subtleties can make a big difference. And obviously, we're working daily on trying to prove these race cars and make them better every single race. And, you know, I don't think there's really a huge geometry issue, but we're working with what we have, and we're winning races.
Yeah, it's super cool to see. But the best part about that is that you can actually make those changes and have a significant improvement.
Absolutely.
So, one thing I do have to say is we're kind of talking negative about the UTVs just because they're so new. But the positive about it is these vehicles are so badass.
I mean, let's just talk about the average race speeds that UTVs have right now. I mean, it's incredible.
Yeah, 100%. Hey, so we got to welcome one of our featured guests for tonight, Elias Hanna. What's up, dude? How are you? Oh, I don't know if he can hear us. Can you hear us, Elias? Jeff, how do you pronounce his name? Is it Elias or Elias?
It depends on who you're talking to. I call him Elias. Elias. Other people call him Elias. He responds to all of them and will not correct you.
Oh, really?
So,
that's just the way it works, huh?
Yep. Mr. Hanna.
Mr. Hanna. All right, let's see if we can get the audio working.
Baja specialist.
I feel like the audio is not working very good on for us today. Can you hear us, Elias?
Is Elon Musk letting us down with Starlink?
Well, I don't think it's Starlink. I think it's just Instagram by itself. It looks like he dropped off, so might have been him. Let's see here. Justin Brown says, thanks, guys. Keep killing it, Team Honda. So he's stoked on you. Ty Spencer says, I was referring to some of Justin's videos on the shock therapy talking about the Polaris Can-Ams, more specifically in the whoops. Appreciate the show. Yeah, man. Well, thank you. We appreciate it. And even some of those tough questions are really good for us to answer because it brings a lot of light to the capabilities of every single UTV. And obviously Jeff's biased. I'm biased too in the stuff that I like to run. But, man, we were super competitive in all of the short course stuff that we did. And we were driving Yamahas. They suck in the desert. So, you know, to be honest with you, all of them have their pros and cons.
For sure.
All right, so we're going to talk about some other fun stuff here. We're going to talk about how crazy fast UTVs are now. Did you ever think that they were going to be as fast as they are, Jeff? Because you drive a 7200 truck.
Yep.
It's a twin-turbo Honda Ridgeline truck with a 6-cylinder motor. It is insane fast through some of the desert. You've taken me for a ride. I was blown away. But sometimes some of these UTVs can almost match that.
Yeah, I mean... You know, the tight technical courses definitely favor the UTVs. I mean, you look at the Baja 500 this year, it was a tight technical, really rough course up through the hills. It favored the UTVs, but I don't think 10 years ago, anyone who saw, the first Polarises out there racing thought that they would be running 50 to 55 mile an hour averages. I don't think anyone could have fathomed that. So it's come a long way in a decade, and I think that you'll continue to see progression just because there's so many people that love the sport of UTV racing. And
where do you think it's going to go?
I don't have an answer for that. I mean, I think that they're going to continue to progress because that's just what motorsports do, is they continue to progress. I think the new Polaris Pro R is essentially a 10 car. I think 10 car is kind of dying, and you're going to see more and more people racing at 10 car speeds in a UTV. And it'll be interesting to see.
I can definitely agree with that. It's pretty cool to see, though, man, because like I never thought that UTVs would go that big. Like, it's just so much different now. I mean, like, look at all these cars you have. It's crazy.
Well, and the best part about it is I love 10 car racing, but at the end of the day, with UTVs, you have manufacturer involvement. You know, you have Polaris out there sponsoring events. You have Can-Am. You've got Honda. You know, all of these players that are out there that want to be involved in our type of racing. And it's encouraging to have manufacturers back involved in the sport.
Dude, 100%. I couldn't agree more. I like the fact that it's bringing back new light to off-road in general, right? Like, let's just say UTVs hadn't have come out I don't know what, 10 years ago, 15 years ago. That means that now it's like a reincarnation, so to speak.
Well, and I think UTVs have lowered the barrier of entry into racing, right? So somebody has a play car, they're out driving it, and they're like, hey, I'd like to go race this thing. And it's easier for them to kind of wrap their mind around going UTV racing because they've had a play car, they've worked on their play car, et cetera, than actually going and buying a full-blown race car.
Dude, exactly.
So just the barrier to entry alone, I think, has really helped the sport.
I agree 100%. For whatever reason, the Bluetooth audio is not working very good, guys, so I'm not sure exactly what we can do. That's why the fans were so loud. These systems are not our fault. I can promise you that. Instagram really, really hates us. They hate that we have broadcasting live on Instagram all the time. So we're trying as hard as we can, but hopefully you guys can at least hear us a little bit. I think what we'll probably end up doing is maybe doing something where I'll hold the phone or something while we're doing this, so that way we can talk with Jeff. We'll do it a little bit different, and we'll have Elias come on as well. You guys can see some of the stuff going on in the background. Say hi to some of the Honda employees back there as well. We're also going to talk about safety and off-road. Actually, Tucker Conroy's on right now. You want to talk with him?
Yeah, let's talk with him.
All right, so we're going to get Tucker Conroy on. Tucker had a couple incidents, actually, or one incident, I guess you could say, in a truck that he was part of. Tucker, what's up, man? How are you? We're doing pretty good, man. Can you hear him, Jeff, a little bit?
I can hear him. Yeah.
So we're talking to you through microphones and stuff, so we're going to be on Facebook and YouTube. Everybody can see you, but you might have to speak up a little bit for us over here. Hey, so we're going to talk a little bit about safety and off-road and things like that. What kind of stuff did you guys experience over the weekend with it was called Baja Nevada, right? Wasn't it the Legacy race?
Yeah,
that
the
just
Legacy
happened?
race. I think it was 650 miles.
Dude, 650 miles in America is pretty badass.
Yeah, that's a lot of covering a lot of ground.
Yeah, exactly. So what kind of stuff happened with you, Tucker?
So, it was quite exciting for a little bit there.
Will you hand me that headset?
Sometimes something gets overlooked.
Yeah, it does. I mean, it's crazy, though, that the carbon fiber can catch on fire so quick. Jeff and I were just talking about that, actually.
Yeah, so we do a lot of work with EBCO. He actually sponsors the Gaunt truck. And this was not one of his panels that Ebert used. But working with him and having him look at it, it wasn't actually the carbon. But, yeah, this has been a thing for quite some time in the spec truck world, that they've been igniting carbon panels and fire. So now moving forward, EBCO has a coating that he just talked to me about last night that can basically fireproof all your carbon panels.
Dude.
So we'll be doing that on every panel in the future.
I feel like I would spray that stuff all over myself, all over the car, all over every single thing I possibly could.
Yeah, nice plug for EBCO. Those guys are great over there. I tell you what, fire is probably the scariest part for me in racing. Any type of racing. And so we want to learn from anybody who has a fire on how we can prevent that. So we appreciate you giving us a little insight as to what happened and educating everybody else out there.
Yeah, it's cool. And so what's some of the stuff that you guys are going to do or that you could have done or that you actually did during the race to keep everybody safe?
So, it was an exhaust-based fire. I got a lot of comments saying, "Oh, carbon fiber and electrical deal." It was just happened because we shot and pushed the exhaust into the carbon panel. Now, moving forward, we're going to coat the exhaust and put some gnarly heavy heat shield on it, and of course use EBCO's new coating for carbon panels. I think the EBCO coating, which is a fire suppression coating, is going to be the best thing we do out of everything.
It's so.
I mean, he tested it with a torch, and it basically doesn't ignite now.
We actually just got a comment. Someone is saying, what about a carbon fiber helmet? And I was thinking, you know what? These are carbon fiber helmets right here.
Yeah.
And so I can't speak for impact, but I would imagine these are SFI approved and rated, that there's some sort of a coating on this carbon fiber. But that's a question that I want to find out before the next race.
Yeah, because you never know, right? But I feel like it's a lot of it, and I don't know, Tucker, you can maybe fire resistant, not fireproof. You can probably, I don't know what you want to call it. I feel like it's the epoxy, right? Because I feel like, is fiberglass flammable, really flammable without the epoxy? Because fiberglass would have the same problem as carbon fiber, right? I don't know, man.
Speaking with Danny last night, it's a type of resin. Basically, what he told us was the resin melted out of the panel. So what bonds the carbon together and helps it hold its form is what melted and produced the fire. It wasn't actually the carbon.
Hey, do you want to tell him the funny comment that just came in from Cade Garcia?
I see Cade there. It's all right. Yeah.
You can thank him later.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm more aerodynamic like this.
I like it.
So we got a lot of people that listen on iTunes and don't watch the video. So I'm going to give Cade a shout out. He said, Tucker, get your car seat. We can barely see your head. That's hilarious, man.
Yeah.
So, well, I'm glad that everybody that was in the fire is safe. That I want to talk a little bit about the Legacy race because it's super cool to see. My buddy Caden Wells, he came away first in the NA class. So, guy that you guys battle with all the time.
We battle with him every single race. He's always a tough competitor.
Solid dude.
That guy puts a lot into his program.
Oh man, the amount of work, just like you guys. But a
lot of respect for that program.
Yeah, 100%. A lot of respect for your. That's actually one of the things I want to talk about is the progression of the race programs today too. But Tucker, so that's a long race, dude. 650 miles in what is it? All Nevada?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was a long race. I'm actually pretty proud of Legacy. I mean, they've been working really hard to get this race series off the ground and moving forward. And they've done a bunch of groundbreaking. I mean, 650 miles in Nevada. I mean, that's a base. We've done shorter thousands in Mexico. I mean, it was a grueling race. I mean, it's a hot weather race, but they gave us a lot of virgin ground. I think there was over 70 miles of stuff we haven't raced on for a couple decades. I mean, I've been racing since 2003. I mean, it started when I was 13. I'm in my 30s now. So a lot of ground that we haven't seen. I mean, it was a good race. I mean, a lot of miles.
And as you know, in off-road racing, that virgin ground is so important to us. There's so many races that we do loops on of the same territory year after year, and it's just absolutely brutal. To have virgin ground is hats off to those folks at Legacy, Liz and Donald. They're really good people, and they're putting on a great race.
I got special love for Donald, too. He was a fantastic person when I got injured, and he was able to help with a lot of medical stuff. So I'm stoked to see that program and that series keep growing. They actually do operate some fantastic stuff there. Do you know how many racers were at the race this last weekend?
I want to say off the top of my head, I think there was 120 entries.
Dang, dude, that's crazy. Brent Gillian, what's up, man?
It was a good showing for their first run with that long of a continuous race. Last year we did a 2-day event that was 650 miles.
Oh, I remember that. I actually remember talking about that. Which did you like better?
I mean, for me, I enjoy the nonstop race. I mean, we're desert racers. That's what we do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's true.
But the 2-day format was cool. I mean, I've been fortunate enough to go as a mechanic to Dakar, so it was fun to kind of experience that here at home.
Oh, look at that.
So,
just a little cool guy drop right there. Just a mechanic at Dakar.
Yeah,
no big deal, bro.
Yeah. I mean, we could add a little bit more to that with Factory Can-Am, too, and we happened to go 1 through 17 that year.
Oh,
so,
yeah.
Just a little touch there.
Nice.
To be able to do a multi-day race at home, that was really cool. I mean, I wish we could do that more. Maybe that's something Liz and Donald will do every other year, which would be cool.
Yeah, it would be.
It's just, I mean, they're bringing some fresh blood into this. Like the short course race last month, we got it to do a Joker lane.
Oh, no way.
Yeah. So that was cool. Like you had to do all 6 laps, and 1 lap was a Joker lane. So that's cool. I mean, Legacy's really doing some cool stuff.
Yeah, it's great to have some fresh ideas, and it's tough to have. I think there's a lot of. It's kind of highly segmented right now with all these different series, but hopefully that kind of works out, and you start to see a higher car count at the races that kind of rise to the top.
Well, let me ask you this, because this was actually a topic of discussion. Both of you guys, I'd like to see you guys chime in on this one. Is that, and I don't want to get too far in the weeds on these subjects, but we just talked about UTVs bringing new light or reinvigorating the off-road scene, right? And I don't know if that's the right way to say it, but I feel like it's pretty close. I'm getting my point across, I guess. If there's 5 different series, they can all still have enough to be able to operate those series. Maybe they're not getting rich off of their series, but there's plenty of places for people to go. I know a lot of people say, well, come out to District 38 races. I like them better because it's a smaller vibe. There's more beginners out there. It's not so stressful. It's not a pro race. Then you have Legacy. We'll call them somewhere in the middle, right? And then you have stuff like Score, which is the top level of it, and Best in the Desert. So what do you feel like?
Yeah, I think there's a little bit for everybody out there, right? I don't think you can just kind of show up like you can do a District 30 race to a Legacy race at 650 miles.
Exactly.
I mean, it definitely requires some strategy, a decent-sized team to run all your pits and everything. But I think there's something for everybody out there, and that's what's exciting. But if you look at the growth of the sport, I think there's 2 areas where you've gotten the growth of the sport. 6100 has grown tremendously over the last 5 years, and then you have UTV racing, and those are the 2 fastest growing classes in off-road, in my opinion.
What do you think, Tucker?
Honestly, I think the sanctioning bodies would put their egos aside for a minute and all talk together. There's enough racing to go around for everyone, and there's enough racers at each entry point, from professional to sportsman entry. But I mean, there's just, the schedules are so tight you can't do them all, Like I would love to take Chad's wife's Can-Am to go do a District 38 race, but everything's on top of each other. If these guys would just talk about scheduling for a little bit, it would really help the sport grow.
Hey, Tucker, why Chad's wife's Can-Am, and why not just borrow one of these Talons?
I mean, if you want to toss me the keys to a Talon, that's okay, but I'm a big Can-Am guy.
Big Can-Am guy over here.
We can make you a big Honda guy. All you have to do is drive it, and you won't have to change a belt.
I mean, I don't mind changing the belt. The belt took me to Dakar and got me a couple stage wins. I mean,
I hear ya.
But let's get that Talon to Dakar, and maybe I'll change my tune.
Hey, Tucker, who are you riding with when you did that stuff in Dakar?
So I was Casey Curry's mechanic
for
South Racing Can-Am.
Got it. Yeah.
Nice.
Casey Curry's a solid dude. In fact, I tell this story a few times on the show already. Is Casey is the one that introduced me to off-road.
Really?
Yeah. So
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it was kind of crazy.
Really?
So yeah, I was doing a lot of advertising and computer work for him back in 2012, 2013. And I saw the trucks, and I was like, yeah, what is this? I don't need, what is off-road? He's like, yeah, just come out. And so I went and checked it out at Wild Horse Pass in Phoenix, and I saw him. He was just doing the V8 Pro lights, right when it started coming out. But when they had the 4-cylinder Esslinger motors, and then he started the V8 one. And I saw it, and I was like, no way. This is like motocross, but with 4 wheels and a cage. I was like, I could probably do this.
Heck yeah.
And then he's like, all right, come test in the Pro Light. So I came out to California. I tested in it, and I was like, dude, I'm in. I was like, how much does this cost? And he told me, and I was like, nope, I'm out. So it was funny, though. And then,
cheap.
No, and I had no idea UTVs even existed at that time, so I was like, well, maybe I could find something cheaper, and then I figured out about UTVs, and that's where it all started at. So thanks, Casey, for getting me addicted to off-road.
Nice.
It's pretty crazy, and that's cool that you guys were able to do so well in Dakar, man. Congratulations to all that success too.
Thank you. No, South Racing's a great program, so it's kind of just turnkey for us to show up, and they really got it figured out. I mean, those guys are hard to beat.
They really are.
They basically own the Dakar market for side-by-side racing.
Yeah, dude, but their program, like I've seen all the social media, like the behind-the-scenes videos. I just think of it like that is the execution of a top-level program at its finest. And I'm not talking about just Dakar or Can-Am. I'm just talking about the team level of racing environment in any type of motorsports. Like they execute, they plan, everything is so strategic. It looks so good as far as a team operation standpoint goes.
Absolutely. I remember, help me articulate this story, Tucker. So I remember you sending out a social media blast saying, hey, we need somebody to fly from Canada with some parts down here in the next 24 hours. Is that a true story?
No way.
In the middle of the race, and you got some random person in Canada to pick up parts from Can-Am, and they flew them down to the race?
No way.
Yeah.
So this is how the story goes. It was Dakar, my second Dakar, and Casey's first. And there was a problem at the Can-Am factory, and they closed for the holidays, and they didn't ship all of South's parts in time. So they reopened after Christmas and New Year's, and we had to it was something like 230 belts, 150 axles, and just a bunch of parts, right, from the Can-Am factory. And we couldn't find anyone to do it. We couldn't ship it. So I put a post up on my social media asking to find someone if they would fly down to Peru, basically for the day, to drop off some parts from French Canada.
Really?
And we found the guy. Dan Howell was his name, and he had just gotten his passport the month before and had never been out of Canada. So he went over to Can-Am, and he picked up about 6 or 7 duffel bags with all the parts we needed and flew down to Peru. We picked him up at the airport on rest day, and we restocked our service trucks and continued with Dakar.
Jeff, can you imagine that? I feel like he's like robbing a bank, like walking through the airport with a bunch of duffel bags.
Were they big OGO bags or something?
Like full of stuff.
I mean, just goes to show you the power of social media if you use it correctly. I mean, this is some dude that I had never met or anyone's ever met before, and he jumped on an airplane and brought our parts to us.
So did he stay with you for the rest of the race, or did he just get on a plane and fly back?
He stayed for 3 days. He stayed for the rest of rest day, one stage day, and then left mid-stage the following day. So he got to stay and hang out and watch the race.
I would have brought that guy like tacos, whatever he wanted. Be like, you can hang out the whole time, whatever you want, we got you.
Oh, I hear the catering and the bivouac is great.
We stoked him out with team gear, and he stayed in we gave him a tent and everything. He was so happy to be there. It was a pretty cool deal.
Dude, that's cool. Hey, so we got to welcome another guest to the show, Ethan Ebert. What's up, homie? How are you?
What's up, dude? I'm doing good.
You hearing all this Dakar talk, dude? It's getting me kind of stoked out.
Makes me want to go even more. I just want to go.
So, Jeff, why don't you give an introduction to Ethan?
Yeah, absolutely. I want to introduce Ethan Ebert. He's a development driver for our team, much like the motocross and supercross teams for Honda. They bring up amateur racers and prepare them for the big leagues. Ethan is a development driver for the team, working his way into a full-time seat for our talent program, and he's done a great job. He's podiumed at the Mint this year, had a solid run at the 500 in his third or fourth pro race.
It's crazy, right?
Just a big, great future ahead of Ethan for the team, and we're just excited to have him.
So, fun fact. barely got his driver's license, and he's already doing so well. Barely got his new driving guy.
I guess I didn't realize the hurdles that we had to overcome to get Ethan to race the Baja 500 this year. Since he's only 16, his parents had to jump through a bunch of hoops and sign all these waivers,
logistical stuff,
and prove his driver's license and his birth date and everything.
Look, he's already getting comments saying that he's so cute. Look, like, well, that's what happens when you're a development driver for Team Honda. You get all the chicks too, right?
You know what? And I think he's single too. So
big social media guy over here. Hey, but yeah. So congratulations, Ethan, on doing so well. Let's just finish up with Tucker here, man. So doing all that Dakar stuff, talking about the safety stuff in off-road. Where do you see off-road going, Tucker? Because, like, we've been in it for a little while, myself 5 or 6 years now. Jeff's been in it for a little bit more than that. And Ethan is kind of just starting out in his off-road tenure as a professional. Where do you see it going in the future?
I mean, I see a culture shift. It's not really going to be so much about results anymore for race teams, is what I'm really seeing. It's going to be more about how you can produce and market content so you can be able to race.
I couldn't agree with that anymore. And in fact, the Dirt Life, I should talk with you, Tucker. The Dirt Life has some pretty interesting plans for the next couple years with actually doing that to help racers too. I think there's going to be some good stuff that comes out of it, and promotion of racers and getting off-road into the mainstream market. But I do definitely think that wins are still going to be very, very important because it solidifies and gives the baseline for any manufacturer, brand, race team, product, stuff like that. But I do think that what you're saying holds a lot of truth as well. What about you, Jeff?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, to your point, Tucker, content is king out there right now. And the more reels and the more video that you can push out into that space, I think the better for all of our partners. But at the same token, Honda's still kind of old school. There's a lot of pressure on us to win. And, we're a fully funded professional race team that requires funding from our partners. And if we're not winning, we're not securing that funding to go racing the next year or the next year. So we definitely have to put up results, but they're also putting just as much pressure on building that content and making sure that we have that presence.
Yeah, because it gives notoriety and everybody sees it, right? I mean, like, you just can't avoid it. So I agree with what both of you guys are saying. AJ Beck just commented, and you might know this guy. He does a little bit of work on some of the differentials and stuff that you guys have on your vehicles. He says, can you sponsor my Ultra 4 career? We know he's joking, but still.
Yes. Well, no, he said iRacing career. Absolutely. Sponsorship coming your way. So those of you that
Ultra 4 iRacing career?
Those of you that don't know AJ is an incredible human being. He's a great chase guy, but more importantly,
taco lover.
He builds probably, I'm going to go out on a limb, 60 to 80% of the third members in off-road racing right now. And
so basically what you're saying is 69% of third members come from AJ.
69%, absolutely.
Perfect. Hey, Tucker, thank you.
You can thank me later, AJ.
Tucker, is there anything else you want to throw a shout out to any of your people or any other stuff that you want to talk about before we let you go and we talk to Ethan a little bit more about the stuff he has going on?
I mean, I'd like to thank everyone that helps our program. My guys this weekend did a great job. Sebastian, the Marquez kids, all the Gaunt guys, you can't race without chase guys. I may be the face of a program here or there, but without them, it's impossible to do.
Yeah.
As far as the last thing I'm going to say, as far as the future of off-road, is that trophy trucks, man, they're going to be all-wheel drive. You don't got one, you're racing for second place.
You know what's funny is as he says that, like, I know a little bit of what's going on behind the scenes of some of this development of some of the bigger trucks and stuff. And as he says, all-wheel drive is going to be the next big thing. I already think all-wheel drive is like 2 years back. Like, I'm already like, oh, all-wheel drive is done. Like, they already figured it out and then move on and go to something new.
So I agree with you. All-wheel drive is the next best thing, but I think this is a show for a different day.
Yeah, totally.
It's hybrid electric all-wheel drive trophy trucks.
100%.
But we'll talk about that another day.
Yeah, totally. It'll be. And
I'd love to come back because I saw hybrid cars at Dakar. So I'd love to touch on that subject.
Yeah, that would be pretty cool.
That's all I got. So thanks for having me, guys, and I hope I can come back.
Yeah. All right. Thanks, Tucker. We really appreciate it, homie. Rossi Welch says, agree, had the pleasure of working with Honda family and Chase with AJ. He is awesome. Yeah, AJ's a pretty badass dude.
He is.
Every time I see him, though, he's always sitting in the Coors Light truck just hanging out. Man. All right, so, Ethan, we're talking about some of the stuff like
Thanks, Tucker.
Later, Tucker. Thank you. We're talking about some of the stuff like families in off-road racing tonight. We're going to talk about younger drivers excelling more and more. How do you feel about that? Because like just starting to enter what we're going to call your professional first season as a professional racer with Honda Off-Road Racing. Do you think, when you're at the starting line, do you think, wow, I'm not against like coming from mod carts, I'm not against the same age group as I used to be. Now it's across the board. Now you have dudes that have been racing for, God knows, 15, 20 years, let's just say, compared to you as a rookie. Like, how do you feel about that whole big difference in professional off-road racing?
It's definitely super nerve-wracking because it's like you could be going against a guy, like you said, with like 15 years of experience, and I have like, 5 races, so it's kind of like one of those things like, oh, they have so many more tips and tricks that they know, and like they know the just how to control their car, their pace, how to set up their car, and their pit stops also. So it just really depends on that, and it's really just trying to learn from those guys and seeing what they're doing, and then going from there.
Yeah, I get you what you're saying, and I want to ask a follow-up question about like how you do that, how you learn from them when you see it. But let's welcome KMC marketing representative Ryan Gaitis. What's up, man? How are you?
What's up, guys? How are you?
Gaitis.
What's up, Proctor?
Hey, so you might know the kid that's on Instagram with us too, Ethan Ebert.
We've met a couple times.
Did you know that Ethan just got his driver's license, dude? He's growing up.
I know. He also has a really, really cool truck that he's about to be driving soon, too.
Heck yeah.
Does it have some cool KMC wheels on it?
Oh, of course.
Sorry. That it does.
Only the best for the daily.
Spoken like a true kid, right? I know my van's all stock.
Sorry about that, George.
It's all right. It still rolls good, man. We're cruising down the road. There's big old KMC logos on the side. Hey, so Ethan, having support from Honda Off-Road, obviously KMC, you got some great other partners as well. Like that actually lends itself to allowing you to do all of these things that you want to go forward with and do. So you've been racing mod carts for a long time. Now you're racing in the desert against all of these different professional drivers. I mean, it's a big difference, dude. I mean, like a big difference, right? And you're already going out and you're able to compete. Like, how does that feel? And what kind of support do you get from the team during those races?
Dude, the support from the Honda team is so good. It's just any like race week that I've been to, it's just positive energy right from the beginning. So it's really awesome. And to, like you said, seeing me actually competing with these guys it builds my confidence a little bit, but I still can't step ahead of myself, obviously, because I'm still a rookie. You know what I mean? I still can make those rookie mistakes. So it's just it definitely helps with going out there and driving and like settling my nerves, because I've always gotten nervous before a race, like can't eat, can't drink, like, oh gosh, I'm just so focused on the start of the race, and then once I'm in the race car, it's like, okay, it's all gone, I'm good. But it's definitely different, because like I used to be, like you said, when I was racing a mod cart, the kids were my age, you know what I mean? So we all were kind of like on the same level, but nobody really had a super high advantage, so it was kind of all the same. But now I'm racing against older adults and other guys like that, so it's definitely different just to see like how our brains function and all that.
Yeah, and we're talking about racing on the professional level, but we had a comment come in that reminded me of something I was going to ask Ryan Gaitis about too, was there's new events coming up that aren't just like series that we're talking about, Jeff. Like you guys are used to doing Score and all this stuff, but Gaitis, there's also events like the one out in Glamis, like the Red Bull Sand Scramble. What would you think about Ethan going out there and trying to jam that Honda around? That'd be pretty sick.
I mean, I know one of our friends, Kyle, he got the whole shot at his RS1 against a bunch of other cars. So, I mean, the Hondas definitely do have an advantage out there. So, I don't know. I think that would be amazing to see him out there. I mean, it gives the weekend warrior type person, a chance to win or to actually go into a race and race. So, I mean, And I also heard from Ethan has already he says he's a rookie, but as soon as he gets in that car, he doesn't act like he's a rookie. So
there you go, Ethan. Good compliment there. But I heard from a little voice or a little secret that you might be building a pre-runner car. Maybe that's a good car to take out to the dunes, man.
I mean, I saw it when it happened. I think it was last year, I think, and I was, dude, that could be so rad. Because like I've been going to the dunes since I was 5, so I know like everything around, and I know how it works and all that. So I think honestly, it would be a lot of fun. Because
dude, the youngster's already claiming it, dude. You hear him? He's already claiming it, Guidus, dude. He's got some confidence.
Hey, we'll get a Honda rig out there to support you, Ethan.
Paddles, if they allow paddles, we got you covered.
I think it would be fun because it's like a short course race, but in the sand dunes. So it's kind of like hey, it's a win-win. Dude,
you know how much time he'd probably go out there like the first 3 weeks before and just start practicing and burning, like figuring out all the lines, like all kinds of stuff. That'd be so much fun to see him out there.
Well, to Ryan's point, actually, in the Glamis Red Bull event, the Talons actually did perform well. So,
did they really?
Yeah, they did.
Yeah. Nice. Hey, were you allowed to have paddles last year or no?
No paddles.
Are they going to allow it this year?
I think it was just to try to keep it fair between everyone because not everyone has a set of paddle tires, I guess. So,
I feel like Roost would be really sketchy because there's so many people we'll call it on course in quotes, but that would be sketchy to have paddles because you get roosted so hard.
Yeah.
For sure.
That looked like a super cool event though, Guidus.
It was. They're having one actually next month. What is it? It's up in Utah. It's another one. So it's called the High Desert Scramble.
Martin Gomi says,
total,
hi from Randsburg, California. What's up, Martin? So what's it called then? Where's it going to be at?
I believe it's the High Desert Scramble. That's what they called it. It was supposed to be the Salt Scramble because, Salt Lake, Utah. But I think it's the High Desert, Utah, or High Desert Scramble out there.
So, we're just talking about, where you'd put your UTV and what series you would go to. We talked about the beginner level series and stuff, and Tucker was just talking about, this is actually a super good conversation to ask Guidus an answer to, having these specific events like that Red Bull puts on, because there's going to be publicity behind them and stuff, right? So, Jeff, what would you consider, before we get Guidus's answer, the value of switching in or doing those specific events?
Yeah, so we definitely go through a criteria when we're looking at our schedule with Honda, and what it really comes down to is the size of the event, how well it's being promoted, and one of the criteria, you guys are going to laugh, is that if you went out and won that event, would anybody know what it was?
Right.
Right. So if you went out and won the California City 150.
Right.
Is anyone going to know what that is? But if you go out and you win a Red Bull event,
yeah,
there's going to be some notoriety with it, right? And Red Bull is a marketing company, so definitely support the new Red Bull series that's coming out. You look at events like what Score's doing. Obviously, we participate in what the Martelli brothers are doing because they're marketing guys and they promote the events and they have television packages and those things. So that's what we're looking at when we try to sign up for an event is how big is it going to be? What's the car count going to be? And how well is it marketed? And if we win it, is somebody going to know what that is? It going to mean something to somebody?
Yeah, exactly. Guidus, you can probably, you're probably a little bit along the same lines. Yeah.
Yeah. I will admit, I went to one of them. It was the ice scramble back in the Midwest in January, and I've never been so cold in my life.
Dude, I wouldn't have done that.
It was on a frozen lake. I was not prepared. I showed up in jeans and a snowboard jacket.
Oh boy,
ready for that. But for that one, they probably had 25 cars entered. But then you do the one where they do the mountain scramble up in Pennsylvania, and there's close to 50 to 100 cars that are actually out there entering, and that's when Seth and Mitch go out there and battle. And I think it's cool when they bring those two knuckleheads together to race, two factory Red Bull cars just says a lot with that program. So, and then the fact that they have a mountain, a stone, a salt, or a high desert, a sand, and all these different types of terrain and are all across the United States, which I think is actually really cool that they do because they hit not just West Coast, but they hit Midwest and East Coast, which obviously all the racing we see here is predominantly West Coast.
Yeah, the different demographics. It really does make a big difference when you hit that. Ethan, would you like to try any of those? If you could do, let's just say the dunes, the rocks, the mountains, would you hit all those?
I think the mountain one would be fun. I'll be flat out honest. I am not a dune guy. Or so. I mean, I am not comfortable in the dunes. You know, if it wasn't my car, then yeah, absolutely, give me a Talon. You know, call it a day.
There you go.
Done.
Dude, so
We got a couple right here.
You are. Well, I thought that was Ethan's.
That
right
is
there.
Ethan's car. I'll
Okay.
loan it out. He
Yeah,
doesn't care.
He's gonna loan it out to guide us, Ethan.
Yeah,
You're screwed.
We have it. So we have a Honda Talon that actually is wrapped the same livery as the previous livery that you guys just did. So they're a lot of fun.
That would be pretty cool. That would be pretty cool to see guide us behind the wheel doing a mountain scramble in a
For
Honda
sure.
Talon.
Let's do it.
That'd be so fun. Hey, if you need a guy to ride shotgun in that bad boy, let me know, guide us.
Oh, let's do it. I need a co-pilot.
Yeah, that would be super cool. Ethan, would you do any of those races if you could?
Dude, I think do you know the Red Bull? What was it? Frozen Rush. They used to do it with the Pro 4s and Pro 2s.
Oh yeah, when they go up and down the hill.
Yeah, it's on like the ski slope.
Yeah, they did it back in like Connecticut or somewhere in the Northeast.
Yeah, no, I would definitely do one of those. Like, it's like a special event kind of thing. So they're not really like a conventional race, I guess you would say. It's like more of a special kind of thing that they do. So I think it's really cool that they're doing it, honestly.
Dude.
So if I was able, I would.
You got to pick the coldest race. That means I'm not going to go out there, dude. I don't do cold, man.
Dude,
George doesn't wear pants. Come on, Ethan.
I started wearing pants since I moved to Southern California, so I'm going to correct you on that, guidance. But you're right. I still will not do cold, man. There's no way. So if you had to give a suggestion to maybe some of these newer racers that aren't, have a driver development program, like let's just say actually give the advice to me, Ryan. If I was going to go out and start my, build a UTV and start racing it, where would you put me to gain notoriety, or what would I be doing to better myself in a program? Maybe some of the Red Bull races?
I think the Best in the Desert is a great platform, what they do for that. The Red Bull, like the other smaller series, I think is like if you're already established, then you can go off and have fun. But like to Jeff's standpoint, I mean, if they go enter a race that, no one's really heard of, then, what does it really do for your resume? But if you say you won like Parker 250 or you won, the mid 400, then that says a lot to your name and, for your career. So, but I mean, I would just say, like we always say, just have fun and get Jeff Proctor to sponsor you. KMC wheels. Come on.
But yeah, he is right though. Like the sentiment that he says when he says have fun, I will always be a huge proponent of that. Like no matter what. I remember when I had my Yamaha program, 2016, all supported by myself and Supercuts, and we spent all our own money. We did all our own racing. We were on the podium all the time. It was so much fun. It was like the best year I've ever had in off-road racing. Immediately when I got my Yamaha, partnership and stuff like that, not that anybody was bad, but there was so many deliverables that didn't turn out very fun.
Yeah, I think for me personally, it's something that I deal with on a daily basis.
Yep.
Is the fun component, because there's so many moving parts, and we've got to produce for all of our partners. But at the end of the day, you've got young guys like Ethan that bring some youth to the program and get us laughing with their young vernacular, and it's fun for sure.
100. Oh, dude, Andy DeSoto.
Hey, Jeff.
Go ahead.
Hey, Jeff, how did everyone like the new red, white, and blue livery?
I got to be honest, everybody absolutely loved it. We even had somebody earlier on the show saying, hey, when is it going to be available for sale? We want a graphics kit for our Talon. So just a lot of great feedback on the new Talon livery. We'll have it for next season as well. And looks like that the race truck, the Ridgeline race truck for next year, will also have a very similar livery as well.
Yeah, it turned out so cool. When we went there testing with you, and I saw it, as soon as you drove up, it's like I felt like I was showing up to a Supercross team test day. It looks so factory. It looks good.
Dude, it did. Like, I loved it when I saw it, too. You know how they do those Supercross themed events, Ryan? That's what I felt like it was for, too. A couple comments coming in. Andy DeSoto said, if that's the case, Ethan, he'll turbo your car for you, so you're good.
Oh, yeah.
And then Wyatt Hastings was also talking about having fun, and then we had another comment come in that passed by too quick. The Pro Eagle guys, sounds like Chuck's on. Love the new colors too.
Yeah, we're happy with the new colors. A little side story about that. Those colors actually came down from Japan, and most of you know that the Talon is a North American product. It was designed, engineered, and built here in the United States. But the Japanese executives came down and said, hey, we wanted some continuity amongst all of our race programs.
Yeah.
And this design actually came from the CBR 600.
Oh, that's where
the
it came from.
MotoGP
race
I
remember
car.
that.
So if you're seeing the correlation now, all global Honda Motorsports are going to have this same kind of look and feel. And then you saw this year at Paula for the motocross team, they were sporting the new blue livery that corresponds with us and the CBR MotoGP program. So it kind of came down from the top executives in Japan.
Dude, that's so cool. Guidus, I love that. I don't know about you. Can you hear us, Guidus? Doesn't sound like Ryan can hear us.
Yeah, sorry.
I was just saying I love that continuity that they're coming out with the graphics and stuff. But so are these graphics behind us here, the white and blue ones, they're not the same as what you guys did in Baja?
They are, actually.
Same?
This just happens to be on a white background for white plastics. And then the Baja ones have red plastics, are a little bit different, but for the most part, they're pretty.
Which one do you like better, Guidus, the white ones or the red ones?
The red ones. It's Honda, true and true. So even though I'm a KTM guy, I'm sorry. But,
Whoa,
yeah, I was eyeing that orange crush behind you.
I didn't know if he was going to say anything. I just let him kind of just like get it secret in. But do we need to kick him off now, Jeff?
Of course, he puts the orange crush in the background of a Honda show here.
He's got to do you dirty, right?
Totally did me dirty.
I'm sorry.
Good thing I'm not going to say anything, or I won't get wheels for the next race.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, Guidus, dude, we have some Honda guys watching the show behind us, dude. They could just press no and like X you out, dude. We got to be careful here.
Oh crap! No more sponsorship. No, but Jeff, I do appreciate you letting us come out to that test day that you did and letting us launch our new wheel with your new livery. It turned out great. Thank you for that.
Yeah, our pleasure. You guys are always welcome anytime. You've been so good to us. We're in our 7th season with KMC Wheels, and it's been an incredible partnership, and look forward to many more years to come.
It's been fun. It's been great, and many more years to come.
Guidus, have you got to check out any of at that testing day? Did you get to check out the Talon or go for a ride or anything like that? Because a lot of the progression that I've seen over the past, we'll call it 18 months or so with the Honda Talons, and Ethan drives a 2-seater. A lot of the guys drive a 4-seater. Like, there's a lot of development that goes on, man. You got to be stoked on the program.
I actually have not been in one of them yet. No, not yet. It was a little too warm out there for me to throw on a race suit, so we got what we needed and got back home.
Oh, man, these executives, they can't handle the heat in a race car.
Guidus is a big...
I know, the helicopter was being washed.
Right on. It's cool that you guys have such a good relationship, though. That's what it's all about.
We'll wait for the weather to cool down a little bit this fall, and we'll get you out in one of these race cars.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Does that mean Guidus gets to drive?
Yeah, he can drive as long as Ethan gives him permission.
Oh, there you go.
Oh.
Ethan, would you be able to sit in the passenger seat if Guidus was driving?
It's weird too, because like when I handed the car off in Baja and just like watched it drive away, I was like, huh, it's a different.
You're like,
feel.
Yeah, I can't sit in the right seat.
I mean, it's probably a whole different mentality being a racer to actually sit passenger seat in a race car. It's probably going to be so difficult because, like, you're probably sitting there. I rode with Seth Quintero. We did a little ride day and through Lake Havasu, and I'm sitting in the passenger seat just, like, jamming on a visible brake pedal that doesn't even exist. And he just keeps on going, is powering through. And he's like, no, we're good. What are you talking about? I'm like my heart's, like, racing. And he's like, we're good. I'm like, I don't get it, man. Whole other level you racers are at.
It's funny though, because like both of you guys say like you don't want to ride passenger, like you guys are used to driving in the driver's seat. But I'm ambidextrous. I'll do both.
I physically can't ride in the passenger seat.
Really?
I actually get motion sickness and throw up.
Really?
Yeah, I've dry heaved in my helmet.
I can't see very good. Like I feel like my head's bouncing around a lot, but I'm fine.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. Just can't handle it.
And Ethan, you can't do it either?
I mean, it depends. But like, I can get in and like suck it up for how long is, but
RB Tiffany, yeah.
I don't choose. I'll say that. I don't choose to be passenger.
Yeah,
There you go.
I got you. RB Tiffany, yes, the live stream will be available after this. You can check the Dirt Life YouTube, Instagram, or Facebook, and then you can also, if you just want to listen to it on iTunes, you can check it out there as well at a later date. It should be up by tomorrow on iTunes, so but they'll all be saved. So, Guidus, sounds like you might have to be passenger, gain some trust, and then Ethan will let you drive one of the times. He's just going to get out.
Totally fine. I'll tell him which way to go. I'll tell him go left and pointing right. We'll figure it out. We'll get there.
Totally.
See how it works. Really test his skills on that. All right, boys. Hey, so Ethan, what's on the roster for you, homie?
So we're gonna do Vegas to Reno, and then the 1000s after that, I believe, right?
Yep. No, actually, you go Vegas to Reno. We're going to do the formerly known as the UTV World Championship California 300.
Oh,
Yep.
yeah.
I thought
in
Matt was
Barstow.
saying that it's still going to be the UTV World Championship one day, and then the California 300 the next day. No?
You know, I don't know.
I'm
I'm
not
calling
sure
it,
either.
like the artist formerly known as Prince.
Yeah.
This is the
Hey, actually, let's talk about that a little bit. So you guys are going to do those events, but like I'm pretty hyped on this California 300, dude. Bringing like that whole vibe back to like Southern California is pretty sweet.
Yeah, we were talking earlier about, kind of some uncharted race course in California, and that's what this is supposed to be, talking to the Martelli brothers. So I'm excited for it. I think there's a lot of new territory that hasn't been raced out in Barstow that will be a part of this race.
Dude, you know Max Eddy has gone on all of those trails, right? He's literally driven
No doubt.
every single
No
trail
doubt.
in Barstow.
He's probably out there right
Yeah,
now.
he probably is. You're right. He probably took the day off work to just go test them out. Guidus, what do you think?
Del Taco better be the title sponsor.
Dude, there you go.
That would be iconic.
Could you imagine, Guidus, bringing out all the tacos, dude?
Oh, yeah.
It is kind of cool, though, that bringing that vibe back to Southern California.
I think it's way closer for people like us to go that are vendors. It's literally 45 minutes away versus driving all the way to Vegas for a race. So,
Well,
it's nice.
And I think you look at the turnout for, the Ultra 4 race out there at King of the Hammers, and you say,
Yep.
hey, look at the potential that the Southern California market has for a big off-road race.
Mm-hmm.
And do I think it's going to be that the first year, like King of the Hammers?
Yeah,
no.
maybe. Yeah.
But does it have the potential to be there? Yes. And I think that's what the Martelli brothers see.
Yeah.
I want to give a shout out to Mike Emerson, VP Racing Fuels. We appreciate the support for all of our race cars on Team Honda. Thank you, bud.
Yeah, Mike Emerson, solid dude, too. He had to leave when we were doing all the helicopter flying for Scanlon at San Felipe. He had to leave early because he had to get home for a party. So he just jumps out of the helicopter, goes in another helicopter, and leaves from the middle of the desert.
The life of an executive,
Oh,
man,
dude,
I tell you.
it was so
I'm
rad.
not there yet, obviously.
Guidus, you need to up your budget.
I know. God.
We got to get that helicopter live for Guidus.
Max Eddy is DQ'd. Matlock protested.
See, Matt Martelli already said it. Yep, DQ'd already, dude. I could totally agree with that, Matt. Thanks for chiming in, Matt. Really appreciate it. We are stoked to do that race. Can you guys come up to Washington? I'm tired of going down to California for every race. So, yeah, Wyatt, it's going to probably be better if you come down here, man. All the competition's down here, so you can learn a lot more and get your skill level up a lot higher if you race against all these bad boys down here. All right, Guidus, we really appreciate you hanging out, dude, even though you got the orange bike.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, wait, actually, I got a question for you. You have a 450 in the background, right?
No, 500.
Oh, he's got the big guy.
Big guy.
So we were talking about that 350, dude. Do you have any buddies with the 350? Because I'm kind of interested in the 350.
I rode a 350 when I sold everything and tried to get back into it. It was probably one of the most fun bikes I've ever ridden.
Told you.
It's like the power of a 450, but with like the weight of a 250, just like the perfect little balance. But I tell you what's actually the bike to get is the electric 2-stroke from KTM. That is money.
That's what everybody's racing the Ayresburg Rodeo, that big enduro.
So I don't disagree with.
You just literally pump in 91 octane in it, and it auto mixes the oil for you. You don't have to do anything.
Really?
And it's an electric start.
Dude.
And it's fuel injected, right?
Exactly.
Dude, that sounds pretty awesome for a bike.
I don't know. I still love the grunt of a 4-stroke. So.
Well, yeah. So I was going to say, not to get too far off track, but I don't do the 2-strokes anymore because I haven't hit the rear brake since I broke my back. So I like the 4-stroke because it's got an engine brake by itself. So
Nice.
I just rolling speed, man.
Little compression.
No.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but I was thinking about those 350s, man. Steve Westfall from Husqvarna was telling me about those things, dude. Those things look pretty sick, man.
They're fun.
But all your homies got the 450L from Honda, don't they?
Yeah, that's what Edwards has. So, but my bike was a little bit more expensive, but his bike was 60 pounds heavier. But it's all right.
Ouch, man. Just throwing down the gauntlet on this Honda show, man.
Well, we got big moto guy.
I'll ride whatever bike is the cheapest. Let's just say that.
Totally. All right, guys.
Nothing against KTM. They build a great product.
Well, we all here, all of us on the show now, like we all understand that manufacturers have to have competition. That's what breeds
for sure.
improvement,
I've
right?
had Yamaha, Kawasaki, Honda, and now this is my first KTM, and I'm just blown away by it. So
I've never owned a KTM, but I do have KTM straps in the van. So
They're
give it to my
Gucci,
dad.
man. They have all the best parts.
My dad,
Titanium foot pegs.
my dad had one. All right, guys, I appreciate it, man. Thanks for coming on.
thank you guys.
What's
Good seeing you, Jeff and Ethan.
before you hang up, before you leave, what's next on the roster for KMC or you guys and events and helping out some of the racers and stuff?
I believe that you said Vegas to Reno, and then we released a new wheel with Jeff's car a couple weeks ago down in Mexico for that, and then we just had UTV Takeover up in Coos Bay. We had a lot of good content up there with Ryan Edwards up there driving the KMC car. So just pushing forward and making shit happen.
Yeah, so how was that UTV Takeover thing? Did you look at any of the social media posts, Jeff? It looks bitchin'.
It looked incredible up at Coos Bay.
Yeah. I went last year, and Edwards went this year, and it's probably the most fun place I've ever been riding.
Wow.
Really?
Yeah.
Dang, dude, that has to say a lot because Guidus has been a lot of places, man.
Yeah.
That's pretty
but
cool.
There was a lot of carnage out there, though, from what Edwards told me. A lot of guys replacing arms and tie rods and everything out there. So
Yeah, it's easy to drive over your head.
Yeah,
Get
exactly.
excited at a big event like that.
Dude, yeah, totally. All right, Guidus, well, thank you very much for joining us,
Thank
man.
you guys.
Later, homie.
Thank you, boys.
Hey, so Ethan, since you're a big dune guy, would you go up to UTV Takeover up in Coos Bay?
Dude, honestly, I think it would be cool because, like, I see Wilkie and them posting all about it, and it's, like, just, like, a good vibe over there. So I'm like, if we finish this pre-runner and next time we can go there. So it's like, hey, debut the Honda, because someone said, oh, yeah, Wyatt said when we're going to see the Hondas at the UTV Takeover, so might as well.
Hey, well, Chuck from Pro Eagle had his 4-seater talent out there. I
He
saw
did.
that.
That thing looks great.
Dude,
It's got
it
a nice
looks
little
pretty good.
livery on it.
Yeah.
Ethan's always up for the good vibe, man. He's like, it's got a good vibe up there. I'm going.
Hey,
Of course, that's why we're out here in Crandon.
That's right.
I was going to say, speaking of vibes, like you went to Crandon. Are you still there?
Oh, yeah. So, technically, we're not in Crandon. We're at, I forget the place that we're at. We're at my grandparents' house, though. It's like a 45-minute drive from the track. But,
Your grandparents live that close? I didn't know that.
Yeah, dude.
Where's the invite, bro?
For when we would be racing, because we would stop by here and then we would actually go up to the track and race. So it's actually really nice.
Dude, that's perfect. Jeff, now you have a place to stay when you go to Crandon.
I
You're
know.
done,
Where
dude.
was my invite, Ethan? Sheesh. I thought you were part of the family.
Hey, so how was that racing, though, dude? It looked pretty sick.
Dude, it was so sick. I mean, I this is the first short course race I've been back to for a long time. And I honestly, I kind of miss it because it's just like everyone's so fast paced in the pits and everyone's like, oh, we made a mistake in qualifying or in practice. Let's change the car, change this and see if it works. And I honestly really like it. But the racing was hard. Like those boys are aggressive out there. Like the mini stock race, every single time through the Argonne, they went through and someone wadded up. And it was just crazy. So, yeah, it was really cool to be back out there.
How many UTVs were there?
Oh my, too many. There were so many to count out there. Like, I'm surprised they didn't have to do like heats for them.
It's so good for the sport, man.
40 Ds. It was crazy.
Dude, I think that's
Oh,
so awesome.
What's that?
I think it's so awesome to see that there's so many UTVs out there.
Yeah, no, I mean, it was crazy. Like, just walking through staging, like, I think they almost had like 3 or 4 rows for the Land Rush start.
Holy cow.
It's incredible. Midwest short course racing's where it's at, man.
Dude, it looked like it was bitching, man.
Especially at the big house.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so I think we got some of the technical difficulties worked out. Elias Hanna, what's up, dude? How are you?
How you doing, guys? Pretty good.
Yeah, we're doing awesome.
Bud.
It's good to see you. Hey, so first I want to clear this up because I was asking Jeff earlier and we couldn't hear you. Is it Elias? How do you pronounce your name the best so I can remember it from now on?
Whatever you want to say. It sounds good.
Did I not tell you that?
Hey,
He won't correct me.
I forgot what my dad used to say. It was something like, you can call me whatever you want, just don't call me late for dinner. Yeah. So
that must have been something from our parents' generation.
Dude, who knows? All right. Elias Hanna, what's up, dude? How are you?
Pretty good. Thank you for the time. We had a little bit of bad connection back a couple minutes ago, but I can hear you good.
Hey, all right. So I'm going to just throw this question out there to both of these guys right away.
Okay.
Who's faster, Elias or Ethan?
Me.
I knew it.
Luck this week.
So,
No comment on that question. We can go out to Barstow, and we can all three race the small track and see, but I'm just I don't get fined.
so I think maybe let's ask him this. So you're out there racing, you're in Baja or you're in Barstow, wherever, and you come up on your teammate. How do you handle that scenario? Do you treat him like a Polaris driver and nerf him, move him out of the way, or are you a little bit nicer? Do you call him on the intercom or not on the radio system? How do you guys handle that scenario?
I mean, as nice as possible, obviously, because you're teammates and, I mean, hopefully friends, but I don't know, but just hopefully not wad the other person up. But, I mean, I don't know. I haven't really chased any of these guys up, so I can't really say. But, just smooth, nice, and, let them know beforehand so they can actually move out of the way for you.
Yeah,
we had this, I think we had a moment at the Met when I was chasing Robbie's kid, and we came up to Ethan, and I call him on the radio, and I'm like, hey, Ethan, please let us go. I'm behind Max. So don't regain the course when Max passes you because we're just going to hit. I was on Max bumper for a big straightaway, so I think we had a good moment on that race.
Oh, that's actually pretty cool. So you can communicate in the cars when you're in situations like that. I think that's actually really nice that they're able to talk to each other and give so much respect.
Yeah, that actually brings me up another comment. So we were down racing in Mexico we have satellite communications between race cars, and we saw this bottleneck. So I was way out ahead in the truck, and I was able to radio back to our Talons and let them know, hey, there's a bottleneck here. This is how you get around it.
Yeah.
And they were able to avoid that. So
nice.
We definitely use some team tactics with our radios and sat communications.
Yeah, but I would totally do that too, man. That's awesome.
For sure.
All right, boys. So, Elias, what's been one of the favorite races that you've had driving the Honda Talon?
Well, obviously winning the Baja 1000 was the best. We won our 6th Baja 1000 consecutive, so it was pretty awesome moment. The Honda team did an amazing work. And we run up front the entire race, so it was nice to have zero issues. And we had a small issue at Loreto, but we figured that out. But we still had 49 miles of advantage on second place, so it was quite a journey going down the peninsula again. But obviously winning was the best part.
Dude, that's crazy to hear that though, because he's saying it very simply put, right? But I know a little bit about the behind the scenes of those races that he does, and that just goes to show how mature of a driver he is, how he holds the car together, the help that he had from the team, and then how fast he can go through that insane terrain. And when I think about it on the next level that I'm going to talk about, that is amazing for Ethan to be able to hear and learn from that.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there's no doubt the reason why Elias is on the team. Are we okay with our connection?
Yeah, we're good.
There's no doubt why he's on the team. He's a Baja specialist. He knows Baja, and it was kind of perfectly executed for Elias to go down there and win the Baja 1000.
Are you there, Ethan?
Yeah, we're good, man. We can still see you guys.
Okay.
Go ahead, Jeff. Keep going.
No, I was going to say, it's kind of perfectly executed. That's why Elias is on the team, and we knew he was a contender in Baja, and we knew he knew the terrain, and he went down there and he executed his plan. I got to be honest, Caden Wells kept us honest that entire race. He might have been half an hour, 45 minutes behind us, but he definitely kept us honest, and he's a great competitor, but we were able to pull off the win with Elias behind the wheel. So,
dude, how hard were you pushing the car, Elias?
Well, I think when we had that small issue on Laredo, I took my time of changing some parts to be fully competitive at the end of the race. I know Caden Wells was pushing hard because he wanted that win as much as I did. So, but I think when they talked on my team talked to me on the radio and said, "Are you guys okay?" And I was running at a conservative pace, and I said, "Yes, why?" Well, Caden Wells just cut about 15 miles to you. I'm like, what? So I knew he was flying, so I had to push as much as I could because I wanted this win. I told my co-pilot, "Hey, I'm not losing this race, so you better be aware of what's going on." So I hit it hard, and we obviously took the win.
Yeah, it was a great strategy to make sure that he had a really solid car in Laredo so he could push that final 200 miles.
Yeah.
And I think it was a great call, Elias, to make sure that car was fresh and allowed him to push as hard as he needed to push.
So much strategy, man. It sounds like we got a comment coming in, too.
Matt Martelli is saying, glad Elias is getting some of the recognition he deserves.
Yeah, and so that's a good point. He does such a fantastic job racing, and Elias has been racing for a while, too. And that was one of the reasons you brought him on as part of the Honda program.
Yeah, just a ton of experience racing down in Baja. He's raced a Spec Trophy truck. He was with Monster for many years. He races a Can-Am. He's just a tried and true race car driver and just loves the sport. And I love to see the fierce look in his eyes at the start line. There's nobody that is going to mess with Elias Hand at the start line. He just shows up like a competitor ready to win every race.
But plus, on the softer side, he's a fantastic. His beard is just perfect. Right? He's got the beard going.
It's long right now.
But it is cool though, right? Like it's neat to be able to see that. And one thing that I'm noticing here is like the environment that you have inside the team at Honda is really good. You have Elias with a lot of maturity and understands the racing thing, and then you have a younger guy like Ethan that's able to learn off of all that stuff too.
Yeah, absolutely. I think there's a really good vibe on the team right now between Zach's got some experience and Ethan, this youthful exuberance and trying to be a sponge and learn from Zach and Elias, and the two older guys willing to impart some wisdom and a little bit of racecraft.
Wait, does that mean that Jeff Proctor learns too?
Absolutely. Learning never ends. I think it's a lifelong journey to continue to learn from everybody that you encounter and everybody that you're around.
What do you think about it, Elias? Because you've been racing for a while, man. You like being part of the Honda program? You learn a lot doing all this stuff with these guys?
Yeah, to be honest, it feels so comfortable being in this team. We obviously have different ways of thinking, but obviously when we regroup, we do a lot of communication to always be better and better for the full team. So I've been going to some races like when Ethan is racing, and I'm always there like supporting him and let him know that we're there to help him as well.
Dude, I love that vibe, man.
It is what it is. It's a competitive team. Like Jeff said, I don't show up to an event to thinking I'm going to be in the second spot. So I'm always thinking of winning, and that's a little bit of bad luck that we've been having this year. But we'll get our vengeance at Vegas Arena.
Yeah, totally. It sounds like we got another comment coming in.
Matt Martelli again said, we need more teams to take note of how Proctor is running a professional program.
Dude, that was exactly one of the things that I was going to talk about, Matt, so I'm glad that you brought it up. And before you answer the question, Jeff, or we talk about it, I'd like to get it from some of your teammates and drivers as well. So what do you guys think about the Honda program overall? I want to just start off by saying that off-road is one of, if not my favorite form of racing now. UTVs specifically. And I think that there's a lot of space to grow in this industry because of the fact that it's so separated. If I have my own team and then my other, let's just say Yamaha teammate at the time has his own team, you're separated and you're not cohesive. You're not together, right? And I like how Jeff does his program because it is a real team effort. Everybody shows up. Everybody does the meetings. Everybody does logistical stuff together. Like, how do you guys feel about that part of the program?
Well, obviously, being in just wearing red and riding red, it's obviously it feels good for me to be aware that we have like a target on our back. You know, we're always looking good. We're always looking fresh, and we're always there. As soon as we show up as a big team, the people start thinking what's going to happen. You know.
Yeah, that's a good point, right? So there's a little bit of an intimidation factor with it because you're the bigger guys, so to speak, instead of just a one-man team. What do you think, Ethan?
I like the way Jeff runs it. It's very put together, it's very organized, and it's very on an agenda. So we do what we want to do, and
yeah, so the structure actually probably helps, especially in a younger person like Ethan's career, we'll say, because that gives him something to understand and to look forward to and to work with, especially in a family environment too, right, where everybody has their place. And I don't know, you give me a little bit more of what you think, Jeff.
Yeah, the structure is really important, from my perspective. The most challenging part is having so many volunteers, and that's a component that a lot of people don't, I think, take into consideration. Tucker touched on it a little bit tonight. At the Baja 500 this year, we had 36 volunteers, and I had 10 employees at the race. And so
that's a lot of people.
When you look at that many people to support 4 race cars, my truck, and 3 race cars, it's a lot of logistics. You have to have that structure in place. And then I take a page out of my youth. I grew up playing a lot of stick and ball sports, and I was a big fan of if you look good, you're going to play good.
Yeah, 100%.
And I take that into racing too. If we look buttoned up, if we look like a team, we're going to race like a team. If we look good, we're going to race well. And it's kind of it's part of that component is the preparation part.
Yeah. I think we got another comment coming in, Jeff.
White Hastings says that's very true. The big teams are definitely intimidating us privateers, but it gives some privateers like myself to try and go beat the big guy.
Yeah, dude. It always gives something to look forward to, right? I remember when I was a little kid racing dirt bikes, I always wanted to be on a factory Honda team or a factory level team, right? And then never got to that level because I got hurt. But then when I was able to get a similar opportunity in side-by-side racing, I was like, dude, this is the best thing ever, right? So I can only imagine what your drivers feel like, Jeff.
Well, I think also, too, to guys like Wyatt, we're looking at the next up-and-coming racers. I mean, nothing against the team that I have now. They're incredible drivers, and we're not planning on making any changes. Let me put that out there. But we're always looking at the next up-and-coming talent that's out there taking green flags and putting in the effort to really prove their craft. And hopefully we're able to bring those guys up onto the team through this development program that Ethan's a part of.
Well, you just invited Guidus to be part of the team, so I mean, you're already growing the team.
Well, I'm kind of obligated because if I don't, I'm not going to get wheels for the next race.
That's okay. Ethan will show him what's up, and then he'll just bail out so he doesn't look too bad.
That's right.
Well, hey, thanks, guys, for coming out. What's the next things that are going on in your world, Elias?
Well, obviously we're going to be doing a lot of testing for being 100% ready for Vegas to Reno. No, last year when Jeff told me at pit number 11 that we were leading the Vegas to Reno, I was so excited, but something happened at the end that we just couldn't control that on the timing control. But for sure, we're going to do our best to put this 1920 on top of the box this coming event.
Yeah, man. That's going to be cool to see him come up here and race in the States, too, man. I know he loves coming up here and hanging out.
Yeah, Elias was in the hunt all last year, like he said, through pit 10. He was in the lead and got stuck behind some slower cars in a tight technical section going to the finish line and lost some time. But, he's definitely has the pace to win Vegas to Reno, and I look forward to, a great outing for Elias to kind of a little bit of redemption from his issues at the 500.
Oh, wait, I actually want to bring up a point, though. So Ethan's also going to race Vegas to Reno, too. do you have a preferred car? Like, if you were going to get in a Talon, which one would you want to go in? Because I kind of want to race a 2-seater. Like,
Okay.
I feel like that one's cool.
All right, so the 2-seat, 4-seat, I mean, it could go any way at any different track. Certain tracks are going to favor the 4-seater. Certain tracks are going to favor the 2-seater.
Yep.
In my opinion, the 4-seater is a little bit heavier. It's got a 35-gallon cell. It was designed to win down in Baja. The 2-seater has got 25 gallons, so a little bit lighter on the fuel cell. Obviously, it only has 2 seats, so it's a little bit lighter car, so it's got a better power to weight ratio.
Yep.
So it can go either way, I think different tracks favor different cars, but both drivers are capable of winning in their respective
I like you
cars.
skirting it, but I'm not still going to not let you
I'm not
go.
skirting it. I'm not skirting it,
Which
man.
one are you going to take? Are you going to take a 2-seater or a 4-seater for Vegas Reno?
Oh, you're gonna make me choose?
It's a hypothetical. I'm going 2-seater just because
Okay.
I like it.
All right, I'm going 4-seater because of high speeds.
All right. How about you guys, Ethan and Elias? If you guys had whatever car you want to take, which car are you taking out there?
I think I'm going to stay with my 1920. It's going to fly.
Yeah, I'll stick with my car. I mean, I think we're getting the setup pretty dialed, so
They better
I think
say
we'll
that.
be able to keep up with the 4-seat cars.
Right on. Well, I think both of them are pretty capable, man. I've actually been, the reason that I wanted to put you guys on the spot like this was because I've actually been thinking about that. Like, I want to get a new side-by-side, and I'm still torn whether I want to get a 4-seater or a 2-seater. So it's kind of like...
Are you going to race it?
Yeah, I was actually going to talk to you about this because one of our buddies, Chris Meyer from Maxis, wants to share the driving seat with me.
Ooh.
So I would like to get a side-by-side and go out and have some fun with him. So we'll see what happens.
Okay, let's talk. I think we need to get you in a Honda. I'd propose a 2-seater, a little bit more practical.
Hey, dude,
you can race the scrambles. You can race GNCC.
Does this car that Ethan's got, does it live here in California?
It does. It lives
okay,
right
just
here.
don't tell him anything, and we'll go use it whenever.
Don't. Hey, why'd you bring that up? No problem.
Yeah, so
Ethan's dad will rent it to you any day of the week.
Yeah. Hey, so do you actually? You know what? Actually, since we're talking about this, Elias and Ethan, do you guys get time to practice in side-by-sides, like in the desert and stuff?
Yeah, actually.
Yeah, I have a 2-seater pre-runner that I put a lot of miles into it, and I think it's a solid rock. I think I have 2 years pre-running with that 2-seater, and I put more than 3,000 or 4,000 miles on it, and I think it's solid, like a rock still.
Holy crap! Really, dude? That's crazy. And Ethan, you get to drive around a lot too, or practice?
So we actually, at my house, I could have the Talon there and then just drive down, open a gate, and I'm in the desert. So that's really nice for me. But once I build that pre-runner, I'll have all the time in the world to pretty much do that.
Dude,
yeah, and a little sidebar on that. He's building a pre-runner that's almost identical, same parts as his race car. So it'll be a little bit of differences, but pretty much the same thing. So he'll be able to put time in that vehicle without wasting his race car.
That's what we used to do too. We had a practice car and a race car. We would recycle them every 6 months, though. That's how long they would last. 'Cause we'd beat them up so quickly.
Not a Honda Talon.
No, yeah. Well, they were still reliable. The Yamaha platform at the time was reliable, so it was really good. But they couldn't be race cars out anymore after that. So, man, that's cool, dude. I like these conversations because it really gives me a lot of more hype to be able to understand how good UTVs are now. Because I could pick a 4-seater or a 2-seater and I would be happy.
For sure.
So, all right, boys. Well, we really appreciate you coming on, Elias, and thank you, Ethan, for coming on too. I don't know if Ryan Edwards is going to make it anymore. Maybe he's out there playing with Gunner and having a good time.
Rhino, come on, man.
I asked him. I texted him. He wasn't there. Do we have any more comments coming in or not yet?
No, not really.
Oh, okay. Well, you guys want to talk about anything else before we let you guys go?
Well, just thank you for the time, and hopefully see you all Vegas Arena.
Yeah, dude, you'll definitely see us up there. We'd be stoked to see you, man. And Ethan, we're kind of jealous of you in Crandon, but it's already, 9:30 over there?
8:40 right now.
Dang, dude, staying up past his bedtime.
Yeah, it is.
Well, thank you. Actually, I think we got another comment.
Matt Martelli said, love seeing young racers like Ethan get support. And we also have Wyatt saying, when is Honda going to be at UTV takeover events?
Oh, yeah, so we just kind of talked about that. Would you guys like to go to UTV takeover? And then we'll let Jeff answer the question.
Yeah, so I think Obviously, we'd like to be at UTV Takeover. Our race schedule is pretty intense. So as you can see, when we come back from a race, they look like this. We tear them completely down, we rebuild them. So there's not a lot of time in between races to do specialty events like that. But, never say never. Let's try to work those into our schedule. It's probably something more for the J Sport side of our brand, our accessories brand, to go out and promote J Sport and the Honda Talon product, and less for the race team to do.
Hey, so let me make a quick suggestion real quick, and then you guys as racers, Elias and Ethan, can tell me what you think about this. So, Wyatt, we had a sponsorship summit with Alex Streiler just over a week ago, and one of the things that he said is if you have an idea and a helping hand, you can always lend your thoughts and send an email like to Jeff Proctor saying, hey, you know what? If I go to UTV Takeover and bring a Honda Talon, will you ship up parts and will you let me manage the event and all of those things? Because it offers a lot of help to a program that may or may not have, let's just say, hands or feet on the ground at events like that. So put together some sort of proposal, send it to Jeff, and maybe that will be an easy way for him to have a point of entry into an event like that, man. So there's opportunities all over the place. You don't have to become a professional racer like Elias and Ethan. You can also offer your hand to help grow the industry and be a good support mechanism for everybody out there.
I'm thinking right now, if Wyatt called me up, I've got easy ups. I've got everything he needs. I just don't have the staff to send there,
That's
right?
what I mean,
Because they're here in the shop.
So Wyatt, you've got an idea, and Jeff has a potential need for it. All right, sounds like we got another comment coming too.
Wyatt says, man, I'm every single UTV Takeover event representing the race side of things.
Oh, there you go. See? Yeah. So he's already out there repping.
He's our guy.
Yeah, exactly. So, Wyatt, those are really good things. First of all, thank you very much for supporting the Dirt Life show. And opportunities come up like this when you hear conversations about the industry like this. One thing I will say is that make sure that you're not doing it for yourself, that you're doing it for the industry. And if you think with that mindset ahead, you will have a lot of success. So, yeah, man, send Jeff an email one of these days and see if you can get a hold of him and maybe work something out. That would be awesome to have you help a program as good as Jeff's here. Would you guys go to UTV Takeover, Elias and Ethan? I think we already asked Ethan. He's going to go up there. But would you go, Elias?
Whatever Jeff sends me, I'll go for sure. I'll drive whatever he wants.
Elias is the guy that's going to do like the big jump event or something. We need to get you a Talon set up with some big shocks. No, really stiff.
Have you seen when they do that skimming across the lake?
Yeah, I don't think that's for Elias.
You know? Elias, are you trying to do
that's like hillbilly stuff.
Dude, it's crazy, though. You see him flying across?
Whatever you want me to do, I'll do it for sure.
No, we just want you to huck a Talon. Huck it.
All right, so Ethan's going to be the dude that's trying to wheelie across the lake bed, and then Elias is going to be out there in the Huck Fest?
For sure.
Dude. Yeah. Good. I can only...
something cool.
They have a short course race out there.
Oh, let's do it.
Dude, that would be fun, man. All right, enough about UTV Takeover. Thank you very much. Elias, you got anything else before we let you go, bud?
No, just say hi to all the industry and just be safe out there if you guys are riding.
Yeah, thanks, man. I appreciate it. And Ethan,
thanks,
what
bud.
about you, buddy?
Yeah, no, I was going to propose this idea to Jeff. If we want a game out there, I say we just take the Ridgeline to Glamis for throw some paddles on there, boom. Publicity right there.
This fall we could probably do that. We're not public about this, but we are building a new race truck. So we've got a second one that we could put some paddles on. We've just got to get permission from the engineers at HPD to bless a little more engine time.
Dude, that would be so crazy, man. I actually do like that idea. I can see like the logistical gears turning in your head going, oh my gosh, that's going to be so much work to get the truck out there. But that's actually not that bad of an idea.
I think it'd be unique to see a Honda Ridgeline in Glamis. I mean, come on.
Dude, and you know, Ethan, that he's going to want to be big sender guy out there too.
Oh, dude, you can do that all day. I rode in the Ridgeline. That thing can handle anything.
Yeah, look at the confidence he has now with it.
Canal jump, here we come.
Oh, man. I can only imagine it.
I can do that if you want to.
There you go, see?
Sure.
The Honda Ridgeline jumps the canal.
I don't think that the legal team at Honda is going to be very excited about that, Jeff.
Well, sometimes you just have to ask for forgiveness, not permission.
Oh, man. And then both of these guys, you're not even in the dunes yet. They're going to show up, and they're going to be like, Jeff, can I drive? Jeff, can I drive?
Yeah, no problem.
Oh, I like it, boys. All right, we'll let you guys go. Thank you very much for joining us. We really appreciate it.
All right. I'll
Thanks,
see you
guys.
soon.
Have a good
Thanks,
night.
guys. Please tell your families we said hello. We'll see you guys later.
Of course. Later, boy. Good luck with them tomorrow.
Thank you. Wait, Ethan's doing something tomorrow?
I don't know.
All right, so we're going to wind it down with some other stuff that we want to talk about. One of the things that I want to talk about, Jeff, that we talked about most of it with everybody, but the progression of the way that off-road is moving forward. Like, I really like to understand where leaders like yourself think about this. You lead because you have short-term goals, you have long-term goals, and you have a mindset of the industry first because you want to grow with the way that the sport grows, right? And I want to know what you think the off-road world has in the next, let's just say, 5 years, in store for the 5 years, because it's grown so quickly. We would have never thought this 5 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what do you think the next 5 years are going to be like?
Well, I think we're right there with live stream. So you've got two really good live streams out there. You got KOH, you've got, the Martelli brothers with the Mint, and now the California 300. So, live TV is where the industry needs. We need more eyes on the sport. We need to be able to cover the sport from a television standpoint. And if you look at these live stream shows, I mean, they're incredible. I mean, you're talking about 25 drones covering the event.
Yep.
8 helicopters covering these events across, the desert that it spans for hundreds and hundreds of miles. It's a big ordeal to cover this sport, but that's what it's going to take to really make this sport go mainstream, and it's not there yet.
Right.
How did Supercross get there? It had major television, in an isolated area in a stadium. Supercross is one of the best spectator sports out there, in my opinion. And how do we get off-road there? We have to have television coverage to bring it to the masses.
Yeah, I agree with that.
And we're right there. We're right there.
I completely agree with that in two ways, though. I agree with it as far as what you're talking about on the racing side of things, because it showcases the racing so well, like what we do at the Mint 400 and races like that. But I also think that there's a lot of storytelling that needs to be said, too, like the behind-the-scenes stuff. F1 has now reinvigorated motorsports in general by having that Drive to Survive series on Netflix. Not only did it just help F1, it's helped NASCAR, it's helped IndyCar, it's grown motorsports into something that you would walk into a Starbucks now and most people will say, yeah, I've seen it, I know about it.
In the U.S.
Right.
Which is incredible. I mean, Formula One was a European sport.
And 2 or 3 years ago when it first started, you could walk into Starbucks, see the same guy, and he'd be like, I don't know what that is.
Yeah, who's Fernando Alonso?
Yeah, exactly. So, like, those types of things to me, and that storytelling and the notoriety that, all these live streams like you're talking about, those are very, very important for the growth of side-by-sides and stuff. But also, there's a secondary part to that question. What about the development of the vehicles? I mean, now you see Polaris has a Pro R 4-cylinder vehicle. The Hondas are so capable. I mean, there's so many cool things, technology and vehicle-wise, that are growing. I mean, 5 years, we don't know what we're going to get, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the progression of the sport is direct correlation to what these manufacturers are putting in from an R&D standpoint. And I know for us, I mean, I have a direct connection right back to the engineers in Ohio. After every race, we have a debrief. We talk about any kind of failed components. We talk about components that are holding up way better than we thought in these harsh conditions. And that's what progresses the sport. And, I hate to say it, but there is a direct correlation between, if we're winning on Sunday, we sell on Monday.
Yeah.
There is a corration. These
100%.
manufacturers see that. And when you're out winning in a Talon, I guarantee you more eyes are on the Talons looking at it as a more capable off-road machine. And, we've only been racing these cars for 3 years.
Right.
Polaris and Can-Am have been, at it for 10 years. So give us a little bit more time, but more manufacturers are going to get involved and say, hey, we need to be at the forefront of racing because it's going to sell more product.
And that just like that competition, that level of competition, 'cause I'm friends with everybody, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Polaris guys, Honda guys, everybody, but everybody wants to win. Like no matter who it is, right? And that level breeds improvement. I love that so much. Like that's why I'm so passionate about off-road is because everybody has the same goal to win, but everybody's doing it in a different way.
Yeah, I mean, you look at the patents that are being, posted as of late. You look at Polaris and Can-Am. They're going to have a direct drive just like the Honda coming soon. They know that the belt drive is a weak link, and I guarantee you there's going to be a sequential transmission in the future for Polaris and Can-Am.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that the future is really, really good for some of these vehicles. All right. Well, the only other thing that I was going to talk about was to see if you guys have such a busy schedule for your program so far. And I know that a lot of people want to participate in the Honda platform and have racing and stuff. Do you guys have any ambitions to do other things like the Texas Outlaw Series operates in Texas now? They have a new track out there. I helped them with some of the broadcasting stuff, and now they're going to come out west and they're going to do a series out here with Taft and Cedar City, Utah, and things like that. Are any of those? Is there any opportunities for drivers that choose the Honda Talent program to be able to participate in those series?
Yeah, we're always looking to support Honda racers as part of the Honda Red Rider program. Just like in motocross, if you show up to this Mammoth Motocross this last weekend, if you showed up on a Honda bike, you had Red Rider support. It's the same thing for anybody out there on a Talon. If you're going to be out there racing a Talon, we're going to provide you support, whether it's engineering support, whether it's support over the phone, or whether it's support in the pits at the race. We want to be there to support any racer in a Honda Talon.
Yep.
As far as being in the Texas Outlaw Series, we're only one team. So it's a great series. I've looked at that series. I've actually been to a race, the 12-hour race in Texas. Incredible. We don't have the room on our schedule right now for that, but we'd be happy to support anybody from a parts engineering standpoint. And we want to see all the Talon racers succeed. Call me, email me, whatever we can do to help improve your racecraft, your Honda Talon race car. We want to be there for you under that Red Rider program.
Yeah, that's super cool, man. And the reason that I asked that question was because I see a boatload of Talons out there, man. There's a lot of guys in Talons out there doing very well. It's super cool to see, man. And just the diversity out there compared to what it is on the West Coast, it's just cool to see because there's so many different vehicles and there's tons of racers, man. It's awesome to see the level of competition and the diversity. I feel like I'm at the motocross track when I see it.
Totally, yeah. It's incredible because the Talon is actually more popular in the Midwest, Texas region, and there's a lot more people racing out there. The West Coast guys tend to think with horsepower numbers.
Yeah.
And I think that's what's kind of thwarted the Talon out here. But I think once they get behind it and they race it, they realize that power is getting straight to those rear wheels.
Dude, it's super cool to see, man. I just love the growth of the whole sport. One thing that I wanted to do, Jeff, was we actually share a lot of sponsors. So I want to thank some of our sponsors. Let everybody know, first of all, that you can see us anytime you want live on Monday nights at 5 o'clock, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram. But you can always catch us in the archives like iTunes, Spotify, any of the audio networks. Anytime. Go through. I know you guys have been listening to a lot of those, man. Our numbers have been skyrocketing. So thank you guys very much. And thank you guys for all of the feedback on social media, letting us know what you think about the show and who you want to talk to. Thanks to all of our sponsors, KMC Wheels, Motul, Shock Therapy, JL Audio, Evolution Power Sports, Zolander Racing Products, Vision Canopies, Cryo Heat, and very, very soon we're going to unveil a new partner that you have. You can probably have already seen it on the screen. So we want to welcome Maxxis and such a great tire company to the show as well.
I can't say enough good things about the Maxxis brand. I mean, we've been with them for 2 years now. Incredible company to partner with. And more importantly, their tires are bulletproof.
So I got to ask you what tires I got to put on my side-by-side, dude, because I don't know the compound and the structure good enough yet.
Hands down, the Maxxis Razor XTs on this car right behind.
Dude, they look like they're super predictable, too, like nice and round.
They're a great handling tire. They're a great cornering tire. They're lightweight, and more important, we don't get sidewall punctures.
Yeah.
It's very rare that we have a failed tire racing at the speeds that we're racing, on the courses that we're racing. Incredible. And I'm not just talking from a sponsorship standpoint. I'm talking from, hey, it's an incredible product.
Yeah, exactly. All right. Do we have any more comments coming in, or are we good to go?
Matt Martelli says, keep charging.
Okay, cool. There you go. Matt Martelli, thanks for being part of the show, dude. We really
Thanks,
appreciate
Matt.
it. Yeah.
We love what you're doing for the sport. You're definitely up there with the best promoters, and getting that live stream going and live telecast. We appreciate it. It means a lot to us.
Yeah, absolutely. Whatever we can do to make the industry grow, like I've said a bunch of times here. Wyatt Hastings even offered himself up to help in the industry grow too. Jeff, we've done already rapid fire questions with you before, but I think we have some new ones. You want to do a couple before we bail out?
Let's do it.
I wish Abigail was here. She could do the rapid fire with us too.
She'd be funny.
You've already done tacos or hot dogs. I know you're going to pick tacos. Chicken or carne asada?
No, I'm a hot dog guy.
No way, really?
Guilty pleasure. Anybody that knows me, Wiener Schnitzel.
Guilty pleasure is Wiener Schnitzel?
Totally.
Are you going foot-long coney chili cheese dog?
If I'm having a bad day in the shop, the guys know if they get me Wiener Schnitzel chili cheese dog, I'm good.
Really?
Yeah.
Dude, okay. So if you want to know the sweet spot to Jeff's heart, give him a chili cheese dog from Wiener Schnitzel. Chicken or asada?
Ooh, asada.
Dunes or the river?
River for sure.
Action shots or still shots?
Ooh, action shots.
Three-wheeler quad?
Three-wheeler, AJ Beck style.
Dude, death trap. Death machines, I think they call them, right? Pizza rolls or jalapeno poppers?
Ooh, jalapeno poppers all the way. I'm a spicy foods guy.
Big spicy food guy. Coffee or tea?
Ooh, neither.
Yeah, not a big energy drink guy either. You're a big water guy, huh?
Yeah, I like water.
Let's see here. Favorite movie?
Ooh, as of late, I'm kind of been bitten by the aviation bug a little bit.
Oh, you're going to say Top Gun?
I'm going to say Top Gun. Sorry.
I haven't seen
I'm
it
an
yet.
aviator now. I mean, come on.
I haven't seen it yet. Big aviation guy.
Big aviation guy.
I haven't seen the Top Gun, but I've heard it's fantastic, so I want to check it out.
Yep.
You know what I am pissed off about Top Gun, though, is that I ride my bicycle up and down the coast in Southern California all the time. They moved the Top Gun house from where it was originally located into the middle of a hotel parking lot, like a hotel lobby area.
Really?
Yeah, it's such a... And they painted it this stupid bright blue color. Like, it's so annoying.
What a travesty.
Oh, my God. They took all the authenticity away. Instagram or Facebook?
Instagram.
If you could have one superpower, what would it be?
Ooh.
I mean, we're talking anything here. You can be a strong guy. You can go fly. You can be invisible.
I would say take away world hunger.
Oh, that's actually a really good one. Does that mean you're out there distributing food to everybody?
Sure.
You're distributing.
If that's what it takes.
Dude, market that with Wiener Schnitzel and distribute chili dogs all over the place.
Fun fact, I've tried to get Wiener Schnitzel as a sponsor. So I go after my passions, right?
Well, you know who has Wiener Schnitzel as a sponsor, right?
Who's
Travis Pastrana and Smagical. Greg Smudgy.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So,
yeah, they were into the action sports thing there for a while. They sponsored a Supercross team, and
they're all about content, man.
Yep, they are.
So maybe you could do something with those guys. Let's see here. Netflix or YouTube?
Ooh, YouTube.
Going YouTube?
Yep.
All right, let's see here. Video or photos?
Video. Video's everything right now.
How about let's go above that? A video, like a standard video, or a reel on Instagram?
Reel is everything right now.
All day reels. Most memorable race? And it might not even be like you in the truck. It might be, maybe Zach Seislov, one of your drivers, winning the 500.
I'd say short-term memory. I'm going to go 2. Short-term memory is this last year's Baja 1000, 1,200 and some odd miles.
75, 77.
Yeah, over 1,200 miles to La Paz. I mean, it's hard to explain the feelings that you have with knowing everything that went in from a logistic standpoint and a crew standpoint, and everything that had to go perfect to get to a finish line at a La Paz Baja 1000 and then to win.
Dude.
It's unfathomable. So
every time I hear that, first of all, that was amazing that you guys did that. But every time I hear somebody say that, the first thing that comes to mind is that last, 75 miles where you're just beating the crap out of yourself and your equipment in those whoops before you get to the finish line. It's like, all right, we're already tired, we're smoked, and now you have to punish us even more?
Yeah. So anybody that's out there that's raced a very long race, your race vehicle in those final 20 miles starts playing tricks on you. You start to hear things going away. You start to hear your engine starting to fail. You hear your transmission making noises. Your shocks are failing. You think your entire race car is just falling apart, and it's honestly just mentally playing tricks on you because you're inventing these problems in your head.
Oh, one thing I want to bring up then. Speaking of having cognitive reflexes and keeping yourself good in the cab, I was able to, through you, meet with some guys, Ed Yeager from Fluid Logic, and I went and had lunch with those guys, and they were talking to me about the product. That thing actually looks super cool because you can program with your phone, and it's a hydration system that can keep you like more, I don't know, cognitive or like more focused in the car.
It's honestly, it's a game changer. I put this specialty drink mix in, but it's a touch of the button on the dash. It squirts a calculated amount into your mouth
For your body weight and stuff?
for your body weight. It's also basically the correct amount that you need at the right time that you need, so you actually don't urinate and waste any of it.
That's
It's
so
just
crazy.
the amount that your body can absorb and actually utilize.
That's so cool, man. Like when I did the triathlons and stuff, like the Ironman, they always told me you need to eat before you're hungry and drink before you're thirsty, because when you're thirsty or when
It's
you're
too
hungry,
late.
yeah, you're already gone.
Yep.
And that has a lot to do with your mental reflexes and stuff. So going 100 miles an hour across the desert, you have to be fully ready to go.
Well, think if you're going to be behind the wheel for,
What was it, 36 hours or something?
Well, so my stint was 9 hours, but think of how much focus it requires for 9 hours straight. You have to have that cognitive
That's
ability.
more than a full day's worth of work.
Yeah, and it's nonstop. The terrain is always changing. You have to remember your lines from pre-running.
Whew. Dude,
So
that's
you've got to be
nuts.
sharp.
All right, since we're talking about hydration and food, what's your favorite snack?
Favorite snack in the race car?
Yeah, how about that?
Yeah, so I eat these little peanut butter balls. Anybody out there? Skippy makes them. It's
Really?
a peanut butter ball. Yeah,
You just pop it in.
just
and you
pop
just
a little
shoot it?
ball in. Yeah.
Nice, that's cool. What do you put them up, like duct tape them to the roof? or
I
like-
have them in my side bag, so if I start to feel like I'm losing a little sugar energy,
Then you're good to go.
I'll pop them, and it's a pretty quick, sugar rush.
Dude, I want to try those things. Sounds like we got another comment coming in as well.
Jimmy Racing says Mint 400 or Baja 1000.
To be your favorite, like to favorite race. What would you think, Mint 400 or Baja?
Two completely different races. Obviously, I'm going to go with the bigger of the two. I think the Mint's one of the bigger races in the United States. But Baja 1000, I mean, I don't think there's a comparison.
Have you ever thought about like you getting yourself in the seat of a Honda Talon and maybe doing like a UTV World Championship or anything like that?
I'm not opposed to it. There just really hasn't been the opportunity, and I want my drivers to excel behind the wheel, and I don't want to.
The busyness that you already have, like I wouldn't see that you even have time to do it. But has it ever crossed your mind? Like,
Yeah, absolutely. There's been a few opportunities here and there, and I'll go out and test these cars with the guys and give them my feedback from a shock setup standpoint and drivetrain standpoint. I'm not afraid to get in the cars at all. I just with the busy schedule with the truck program and everything else going on behind the scenes, it just hasn't worked out.
Yeah, there's just so much on your plate already. If you were a beginning racer, you'd never raced in a side-by-side before, would you pick off-road or would you pick short course? And when I say off-road, like long-distance endurance racing, like a Mint 400 or...
Well, I might get crucified for saying this, but short course racing on the West Coast is completely dead.
Yeah, no, I don't think you get crucified. I mean, that's a true statement.
Yeah, and so I think you're seeing a lot of the short coursers on the West Coast making the transition to desert endurance off-road.
Right, or just leaving and going to the East Coast, yeah.
I like endurance racing off-road because it requires you to have a strategy. It's got an endurance component
There's
to
more
it.
layers.
There's a lot of racecraft to it. We're knowing how to not overdrive your car and to be patient. There's so much that goes into being successful in desert racing off-road. It's not like reckless abandon for a 20 or 30-minute moto and you're done.
I could definitely agree with that. I'm still partial to short course though, man. I really like it. Like if I would had the resources to do it, I would love to go race that Midwest series. It's Champ Off Road. Like that's
where it's at. Is the Midwest.
I love that knockdown, drag out intensity. Like because it reminds me of what we grew up doing, motocross, right? Like it's just that always go go go. Like although, like if I was in a professional program doing the desert racing, I might say different. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, when you go to Midwest short course, there's nothing like it. Like the Big House where Ethan's at right now.
Yep.
I mean, Crandon. I mean, there's no substitute.
That
for
ERX
Crandon,
track
right?
looks sick too.
Yeah, that's true.
All right, so let's go to the next question here. What other form of racing would you like to try?
Ooh.
What about, like, since you're a big aviation guy now, what about those Red Bull Air races?
No, thank you.
Dude, those guys are nuts.
No, thank you.
One miscalculation.
Big aviator guy. No, to be honest with you, if I was to choose a different form of racing, I'd probably go gentleman's driver, Porsche GT3.
Oh, like Le Mans kind of stuff?
Yeah, like Le Mans endurance stuff where you're sharing the car over 12 hours.
That would be super cool, is sharing the car. I always wanted to do the like DTM stuff. Like I was into that, but the Le Mans stuff looks cool too.
24 hours of Daytona, 12 hours of Sebring, definitely a bucket list. If anybody out there has any connections with Porsche teams,
then get in there and jump in.
Yeah, I'd like to have a foot in the door.
Dude, that would be super cool, man. I'd love to be able to see you in one of those too. That would be
so
a
fun.
completely different world for you.
For sure.
Because the difference in those driving styles is so. I actually think it would probably benefit reverse order too in the off-road program as much as it would benefit them. I bet you could learn a lot and come back and bring it to the off-road.
Yeah, I think there's some carryover there, and there's also a lot of differences too.
Yeah.
A lot of respect for those guys. Those guys push hard.
The question was going to be speedboat or dragster, but I'm going to flip it on you. Plane or helicopter?
For sure, a plane.
You're going.
So the plane has a glide slope. A helicopter falls out of the sky.
Yeah.
So if I'm going to have a failure in one of them, I want to be in a plane.
I've been in helicopters a lot lately, so I'm going to switch. I'll take the helicopter. If we're going to choose, you can have your plane. I'll take the helicopter.
No
right?
thanks. No thanks.
Let's see here. All right, last one. You've already answered this question, but I'm still going to throw it out there. Chips and guacamole or French fries and ketchup?
Oh, chips and guacamole all day long.
All day. All right, we can still be best friends.
I'm a homemade guac kind of guy.
Can you make good guac?
I have a recipe I'll share with you.
Really?
Yeah, for sure.
I think instead of sharing it with me, we should have a battle because I got George's custom guacamole that will blow your mind. Dude.
Oh, let's do it. Bring it on.
Definitely a battle. All right. Well, thank you very much. I appreciate you spending all the time with me. Do you have anything else or any subjects that you want to talk about before we thank our sponsors and dip out?
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm just grateful to be a part of this growing industry, and I'm thankful for all the support out there, on the internet and watching your show and everybody that supports this Honda racing. It's really a passion of mine, and we're striving for excellence and striving to really grow the industry as a whole.
Yeah.
And that's our passion, and we're just looking forward to the future.
I couldn't agree more with what you said. That growing the industry and being a leader, it really takes a lot of patience. It takes a lot of forward thinking. It takes a lot of working with other people. So I really commend you on the job that you're doing because you're doing a fantastic job doing all that, man. I appreciate everybody here at Honda Off-Road for being so willing to help us out today as well, getting us all set up here. You and your team did a fantastic job moving all the cars around, getting us a nice display. So it was awesome to see. Dude, we even had to put the Starlink on the roof, and it worked.
Heck yeah. Thank you, Elon Musk.
Dude, we're stoked. We had a couple stall outs, and, Instagram didn't really like us very much today, but Instagram is always going to be something that we have to work on. So I appreciate all you guys for tuning in. Thank you very much to all of our sponsors, KMC, now Maxis as well. We want to thank the guys over at Motul, Shock Therapy, JL Audio, Evolution Power Sports, Zolander Racing Products, Vision Canopies, Cryo Heat. You can go to sponsor deals page on thedirtlifeshow.com and you can save some money. You can do affiliate links, all that stuff if you guys want to save on products. We really appreciate you guys supporting all the guys that support us. We've heard some really awesome things from our partners that you guys have been buying stuff from them. So when we get a call from them that you guys are doing that, man, that helps us grow the show and the industry so much, man. We can't thank you guys enough because that's exactly what the industry needs to grow. So we really appreciate it. So please support all of the partners that Jeff has, all the partners that the Dirt Life Show has. And man, next week we are going to go to Central California to visit our buddy Jesse Nelson.
Nice. Love Jesse Nelson, man. Just good people.
So check it out. The show is on 4th of July, too.
Oh.
How many 805 beers do you think Jesse will have?
Oh, it's going to be a party up there for sure. Good, right? Jesse knows how to party.
Yeah, and he's sponsored by 805 Beer, man.
Jeez.
So it's going to be good. So it'll be a good show. So please tune in next Monday. It's going to be awesome to be over there. Thank you guys again for being such a great part of the Dirt Life Show. You guys are our lifeblood, man, and we really appreciate all the industry support, like I said, with Jeff and all of his program. We wish them the best of luck in the future. So thanks, Jeff.
George, I got to say thank you, man. I appreciate all that you do. You're a fantastic host, and all that you do for the community of off-road racing and the industry.
Well, thank you. That means a lot to me. But I will say,
Doesn't go unnoticed.
My job is in jeopardy from Abigail, though.
Oh, I wouldn't worry about her. She's part-time.
She's already part-time producing the show, giving me some heat. So, but thanks for involving your family.
She's gonna be your advocate,
dude. Let's do it, man. She's got a job anytime. We could always use the help. So, thank you guys very much. Really appreciate it. And yeah, that's it, man. We really appreciate you guys living your dirt life with us.
Thanks,
See you guys
guys.
next week.
Thanks for listening to the Dirt Life Show. See you next week.